Welcome to ICL on a Wednesday. I'm your host, Luke Wonderland, and today I am here to watch something. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say, and that happens sometimes. We're here to watch Friendly Neighborhood, rank number 2 versus rank number 3, Lorcana Lazyboys. Not the Loungers, even though their logo is them sitting in a lounger with the initials of a lounger. But, you know, that's their choice, And we're going to play your favorite game where you try to guess who else is here with me.
Okay, I'm good to go. Hi, I'm new. I don't know if anyone's going to know who I am, but I am part of one of the ICL teams, and they call me Team Mom usually.
That is something that my team also calls me, so I definitely can relate to that very strongly.
I think it's because I got Advil, we have hydration packs, someone stole my water bottle because they were going to throw up at the DMV.
I've also been called Team Mom before, so,
Oh,
you
I
know,
love that for
we've
you.
just got 3 moms here. Sounds fantastic.
3 moms! We need some wine.
Not on this Disney Channel.
Sorry. We need some, what is, I don't know.
And at least one Red Bull. TJ Parker,
Yes.
You're close, but we're on chai latte today.
Yeah,
Right.
we could do pumpkin spice lattes. That feels like a very mom drink.
That's
I
true.
wasn't able to really
Don't.
fully get on the
Don't.
pumpkin life.
That is my favorite basic thing is pumpkin spice.
Like you're like, don't make
also-
fun of it. Don't make fun of it, please.
I'm also a basic white girl when it comes to pumpkin spice
yeah.
things. I will say, getting like pumpkin coffee that is made from like actual pumpkin versus the Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, much better.
Yes. Also, a pumpkin spice chai tea is very good as well.
I might try that sometime, but I mean, to be fair, a lot of the proper spices in a chai latte are normally in pumpkin pie as well. So it's fair, but I prefer my pumpkin to have the word pie after it.
But you can't eat pie walking into work. You can't eat pie on the train.
Who made up these rules?
Yeah, I was like,
it's in a nice hand-sized slice.
You're eating pie. You're just holding a piece of pie.
Raw dogging that piece of pie in my hand. No napkin.
Okay,
that's
always
absolutely. As somebody who is from Chicago originally, or the Chicago area, I've definitely taken.
Best place on earth.
I would agree full-heartedly. I've taken a donut, which is basically cake. So like cake pie on the train.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Donuts don't break and crumble. Like if you're eating a piece of cake, like that's gonna get messy. But
I want to be on your side, but it's crazy to compare a donut to eating a piece of pie. Yeah, in your hand.
I've
never
seen
had that
wild things
before?
happen on the Metro before.
Well, that's true.
Where
the Metro is a crazy place.
It is, and like celebrated birthdays, retirements on a train car because you sit in the same seat every day.
Yeah, that's true. That is cute.
All right, well, we're about to be joined by one of our round 1 casters here. Everyone, welcome the happy birthday girl a day late.
Happy birthday!
Happy belated birthday!
She didn't get her birthday wish though, which I do believe was release Wilds 2 weeks early.
Oh,
I think that's what she said.
Now wait a minute.
Let's see the Disney magic. I want
Get
Wilds
Ravensburger on the phone.
But hello, it's good to be here.
Did they at least send you some early?
Yeah.
No, I'm
What?
not in the cool kids club yet.
I'm not in the cool kids club either.
I just want to say, when you said bee hair, I swear you held that bee just a little extra and your willow bees. Like, did you do that, or did I just read a little too much into that?
I actually do that every time I say the word bee. I do hold it a little longer.
Perfect. I knew it. I love it.
Friends are like, what is happening with her right now?
But it's good to be here. ICL on a Wednesday. We got the Lorcana Lazyboys in the Friendly Neighborhood. I'm so excited. Can you guys tell?
Yeah.
Nope.
You've got the energy.
You're bringing more energy than us, so I'm glad you're round one.
This is default Willow.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's what we do. It's what we do. We gotta get the crowd. I just imagine that Twitch chat is a crowd of people, and I'm just like, come on.
I mean, they kind of
It
are.
kind of
They're just
is.
in
Yeah.
their own living room crowded.
And I like
Yeah.
to imagine that every time I build the hype, and then they're like getting up from their seats and yelling like it's a sports game, but it's Lorcana.
But it's Lorcana. I have
Wait.
gotten up out of my seat and yelled for Lorcana. So
See?
I understand.
See? Yeah, sometimes I'll be watching the streams. I'll be like, what are we doing? When like my
Yes.
player is like not
Yes.
questing.
Oh, when they
I
make their
have
Willow
channel
triggers?
points on you.
Yeah. I've never gotten up for a sports event, so I think you might be right about this.
See? We just need something to care about, okay? Something to root for.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree with you.
What card are you most excited for in the new set? You seem very excited for
Ooh.
this new set.
That is a good question. This is my personal answer, okay? This
Yeah.
is not what I think the people are most excited for.
Oh,
I'm asking you.
I am super excited. I've got the amethyst on today. I am super excited for Peppa Madrigal, the 3-cost uninkable that has the like when you remove a damage, you get to draw a card. It's only once per turn.
Yes.
And also it puts a damage on all your characters. I'm ready. Okay, flinger dingers, we are so back. So leave the mother gothels up again. What is it? Everybody's got a weakness. Oh my goodness, it is our time.
Also,
I love that.
8,000 judge calls because
Yeah.
your opponent doesn't believe the card works the way it does.
I actually haven't been able to make it work yet.
You're like, I still
But I'm
believe in my
trying.
heart. Is it working? No. Will it work? No.
But it
Do I
could.
believe
Give
in
it
it? Yes.
The heart of the
Give it some
cards.
time.
I mean, if I know anything from TV cartoons, it's the heart of the cards.
That's
will
true.
do everything.
It could listen, there's a world in which I can pull it off. That world has not happened yet, but I've only played like 5 games. Okay. So after each one, I'm tweaking the deck list.
I
and-
love that you're like, it's not that you're not saying it's not consistent. You're like, it just hasn't even worked at all, but it will. I
No,
swear.
it has
yeah.
not worked at all.
Not one time have I played this card successfully.
It has
No.
not happened yet a single time. Even a little
everyone's
bit.
gotta have their ICL meta deck, and then they've gotta have
Exactly.
their bad deck
Yeah.
that they bring to locals. You know?
Yeah.
That's just
Not me.
what that's gonna
I'm
be
just
for
a
you.
jerk. I,
Well,
bring
yeah.
my,
Crack
I
the
bring
local
my
players.
cutthroat deck to locals, and then I bring my fun deck to ICL.
Now wait a minute.
Yeah.
See, that's so funny because it's so topical, that discussion right now. And like, you are a jersey. Like, you walk in, you're in a jersey.
I don't. All right. I did tweet.
you're like,
I had a
my
very
locals, what
hot
about
tweet
it?
To
about it.
locals is kind of crazy.
I when I first joined a team, I did wear it to a couple set champs in the Stitch
Okay.
Rockstar.
Set
Era.
champs make sense. Set
All right,
champs, we wear our
and
jerseys
like
to set
I
champs.
did it like twice, and I instantly was like, this ain't it. This ain't it. I mean, it really
So-
gave me the vibe. Like, I'm an old Magic player, and back in the day, people would have their playmat, and they'd have all their PTQ top pins on it.
Yeah.
You know, and realistically, 9 out of 10 times, the person who does that was not. They were a
A
little
nice person?
toxic. I guess
Yeah.
that's I don't know how to say it nicely to say things about them, but before we go too deep into that, the match is about to start.
All right.
And our other caster just gave us an amazing raid, so shout out to anyone who's hanging out on the JDZ Quest channel. Probably an amazing show tonight. I did not get a watch after, as a few of you are aware, I got kid aggroed pretty hard today.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Take you out the
but-
knees.
We do have the rank number 2 friendly neighborhood here versus rank number 3 Lorcana Lazyboys in a lounger. So what's the prediction? Are the Canadians going to continue to dominate? Are the loungers gonna take it away? They're gonna relax their way into a win. I just love the way that they spell neighborhood, so I'm gonna have to go for the friendly neighborhood. Does that mean I'm secretly going for the lazy boys because I have the caster's curse? I don't know. What about you, Nada?
I can't tell if I love or hate this Winnie the Pooh guy, so I think I'm gonna have to go with them. It's really speaking to me in some ways that is very unsettling. And I feel like that's the kind of energy you need to bring to the ICL. You need to surprise people.
All right. Courtney, we're gonna do this really quickly. We're gonna.
I'm leaning towards the loungers as well.
Okay, Lorcana Lazyboys. I am gonna toss my vote into the bucket for the third seed as well because I love an underdog story. Gives you something to root for.
All right. And we are in for a treat here. JD will be able to give his prediction here as we're gonna cut. But we have the Franz cam. So we get to watch Franz react to all of his plays here in this next game. But JD, why don't you give us your prediction from the game?
Coming in late, I got to give it to the loungers. I'm on the lounger side right here. I know how hard these Illumineers work and how much testing and study they put into this. So I'm going to lean lounger on this one. I think
leaning Lazyboys, Mr. JDZ.
That's right. Lazy boy in the lounger. My bad. You're right.
Okay, get back in the chair.
Let me lock in. And Luke, while we're speaking of locking in, can I get a couple more gigabytes on this download there? But Willoughby, how have you been? It's been a long time. We haven't spoken a while. I know. Hopped in a booth in a minute.
It's good to be back in the booth with you. ICL on a Wednesday. Last time we spoke, we were trying to bring Wednesdays back, okay? I was talking a lot of smack on the Tuesday, but we're here for the Wednesday. I think we can make it super, super exciting. Having a player cam to start the day. I mean, this is going to be good. We get to watch the reactions. Friendly Neighborhood, I think he said it was second seed versus third seed. Like, this matters. Wow. Both of these teams really want this and are going to try to be pushing to that potential top spot. So I'm excited. And look at the dice. Oh my God, the Mario dice. It's so good. It's so good.
Playing for some serious stakes. I know it matters. I know a lot of people like, oh, it's just for fun. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, it does matter. You want to come on top as Orax is out here representing the Winter Spell Set Championship. Matt, a little bit of Sapphire Amethyst colors revealed right away, Willoughby. So we know what Franz is up to. But what is Orax up to? The story is unfolding.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. You love to see the subtle flex on your opponent. Could this be the mirror right out of the gate? Amethyst on both sides of the table.
The patent pending mirror match, Sapphire Amethyst, a little bit of blurple to start our days off. And I think our time is numbered. We have to cherish these moments because there might be a time where we don't get a chance to see Sapphire Amethyst mirror matches anymore. When rotation is right around the corner. Also, with this new set coming out, maybe Sapphire Amethyst takes a couple steps back as Tipo comes down on 2. We'll accelerate a bit and pass back on over to Orax. Never mind.
Look at this. It is not a mirror match. It is Amber and Amethyst. Now, I'm not going to do no caster curse, okay? But historically, Amber and Amethyst does tend to be a little bit stronger against this Sapphire and Amethyst matchup. So Franz doing exactly what he needs to do, getting that Grandmother Willow off of the boards, trying to get Orax out of here. Does not want to give him any chance to get ahead.
I think that Tigger, it depends also maybe how these decks are built. If Orax can maybe string together some of those horseman strikes and take out some of the evasive characters and maybe get into that deep terrain, you're able to clear the board. If you're playing the Raging Storm variety of this Amber and Amethyst strategy, you're going to be way out front. But if you're not playing those cards, you don't have those in. If you made some concessions to maybe help counter what the dogs can do, maybe you thought you were playing against some dog strategies, maybe not. So this is going to be a matchup. I'm sure Franz has the tools of the trade, or at least some lines of play that he's looking for to help combat this matchup. But Orax, I do like this position a little bit, so I will agree with you. That's Maleficent there. What's that doing here?
That is a super interesting inclusion. I have not seen that in these Amber and Amethyst decks yet. One thing I want to note really quickly on Franz's side, he did ink to 5 with that 5th Spirit hitting the inkwell, but he didn't play anything. So look at this. Tells us at least we got to the Demona afterwards, but could have been a bit dicey there. As we see 2 Grandmother Willows on the other side as well. It's interesting.
Yeah, and now you have the ability to kind of run through this entire board pretty much uncontested. Tipo will not be able to take down the Grandmother Willow, so it probably can get a pretty free quest in. Demona there holding his whole position down, but that was a very good observation. So no 5 ink turn, but you're going to speed run this Demona down, leaving nothing but this Willow in play. You're only at 5 ink as well. No evasive cards on field. The World's Greatest Criminal Mind would be pretty decent to kind of slow Franz down a bit here.
Yeah, definitely interesting. One thing I think is important to know, and I'm going to sound silly saying it, but I love to keep both players in the game for the audience at home watching at all times, okay? And one thing I want to know is that looks can be deceiving when it comes to this Amber and Amethyst deck. Right now, there is no denying that Franz is in an incredibly dominating position, which is why I risk being silly or sounding silly when I say this. But this deck really can catch up quite well, and it's going to simply put draw more cards a lot of the time than the Blurple player, depending on how this goes. So I don't want to count out Oryx yet. Obviously, Franz is looking good, but this is still, for all things considered, very early game. As a Marshmallow comes down, what is in this deck?
Marshmallow is kind of solid, and like I said, this Amber and Amethyst strategy does struggle against the dog strategies, and you have to kind of have some cards in there to play against that deck. And the Marshmallow will be a great tool for that deck, as Franz is going to accelerate the Inkwell a little bit. So now we're going up to that 6. We got 7 ink coming in. You're still 1 turn away from a potential Raising Storm. But I think the Marshmallow would have been a great tool to have in your strategy. Hades is going to make light work of that 2-question 5/5/5 and pass it on over. Nakoma now is going to be the play for Orax.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. It looks like it's just not quite panning out here. I think Franz is able to go just a little too fast for potentially some of these answers to matter. Franz as well also finding so many of his own answers in response, where his board is questing for a bunch with nothing too threatening on the other side. You can see where Orax has some of these really interesting inclusions, things that it's trying to make happen. Like you said, showing a lot of respect to the dogs, but even things like this Nakoma, it's got a really nice stat line. It wants to normally do some things, and it's just not enough when Franz is drawing out of his mind as another Demona hits the board.
That is a very insane turn of events for the lazy boy there. You might be a lazy boy, but that deck is working full time as these Demonas are flying high, and the Into the Unknown is going to send the Dumbo into the Inkwell as well. The only sad part for Franz is that you have to accelerate your opponent 2 ink here. So if you do have that Raging Storm, we're back to net neutral, as both Illumineers will have the same amount of resources coming in.
Yeah, you said it. That Raging Storm could be the saving grace that we need. It might even be the exact thing that we need. Because also looking over at the hand, Franz's hand looks small. I believe it's only 1 card there. So there may be a chance to rebuild, but you got to find it now. We're at 7 lore. Okay, a potential to skyrocket up to almost all the way to 20. So if we don't find it now, it might be lights out here.
Yeah, you got to have it. And I know there are some of the Amber and Sapphire players who have been removing or slowly starting to whittle down the accounts of the Raging Storms in their deck builds. So I think there's an opportunity for you not to have it, as Sven the Leaping Reindeer is going to hit the library and then slam into one of the Demonas. So you're going to cycle another card. So clearly you don't have it now. You do have this library up, but it is very vulnerable to a bunch of challenges. Let's see if Franz is going to elect to clear this library now, or just take the lore and race here. This is an interesting decision coming in from the lounger. Let's see what he's going to do here.
Yeah, it's a super interesting thing that we have to consider, right? We've seen this kind of protect the castle strategy pan out really, really well, but also Franz might be thinking, hey, if that Raging Storm is coming, I just need to get my lore. Starting with the quest on the Basil, though, makes me think that he is interested in just getting the library on out of here. But of course, we're going to go for the quest first, shooting all the way up to 13. Looks like he gave that support to that Royal Guard there. So he is going to use both of those characters to get rid of that library. So he's saying, hey, if you are going to Raging Storm, I've only lost 2 lore and from doing the challenge, and you can't do anything else to that library, but we don't find it. We don't find it. We scoop it right on up.
Right on to Scoopville, as Orax could not get it done. Franz found the cards required, and you're going to lock on into a quick game 1 win for the Lazy Boys. Moving on to game number 2. So Sapphire Amethyst versus Amber and Amethyst. And like you said, I do concur. I like Amber Amethyst's Amethyst's cards in this matchup. I think they have some very favorable cards depending on how the decks are built. But what do you think about how that match went? What does Orax need to do in order to probably to lessen the burn there? Because Franz came out swinging on all cylinders.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, Franz just kind of had all the answers when he needed them. And it's kind of, it might just be bad luck. I think a lot of people can agree that this is typically a very powerful strategy against Sapphire and Amethyst. But I mean, coming out of the gate with things like that, Tigger, to bounce that Grandmother Willow back to hand, that Hades coming in right when that Marshmallow came down, which again, this Marshmallow, is super interesting include. It is uninkable, but that ability to stop everybody from readying things, it actually could have mattered, right? Franz had a board there. If he didn't see that Hades, we stop a lot of that questing power. So I think that Oryx is a great player and probably knows where he went wrong, whether it's in his altar, right? We didn't get to see exactly, what cards he had in hand. I think coming back into this next one, being on the play, I'm sure he's feeling like, hey, that was a fluke and I can bounce back. But it was definitely, there's no denying, it looks strong for Franz, and he's going to want to be trying to find those exact cards to repeat that again if he can.
Oh, for sure. I think Franz is just very happily willing to run it back that time. Well, even though you had to ink that, you didn't really get the chance to play a 5 ink turn. Maybe you're fine with that. If you can go Demona, and clear the board multiple times, keeping your opponent off of tempo with the Tigger and just sticking to that flight plan, I think you're going to be on your way to another 2-0 victory. So I'm interested. I want to see a game number 3 be forced. I want to see Oryx be able to demonstrate what the full capability of his strategy is trying to do, and maybe you can get a game number 3, because I don't really like to see 2-0s. I want more ICL. I want more games being played as we are all bidding farewell to Winter Spell and saying goodbye and welcoming in our new Wilds Unknown. So this is probably one of the last times we'll get a chance to see these decks face off. I know I've been saying that since Fabled, Willow, but you never know.
Yeah. We're getting some information from production. I'm assuming chat either could or could not hear that, but either way, we are off to the races. And we have a Rafiki coming down on Oryx side. On the other side, we do see the Royal Guard. So we're tit for tat here. We're 1 for 1. We got the 1-drops. We're trying to start making this board even.
Yeah, 1 drop for 1 drop. Another Maleficent, again, probably hedging very aggressively for those dog strategies, as we are going to check with the Mowgli. Right now, we don't have any ramping cards on the second turn, so that feels very bad for Franz and the Lazyboys here. But if you are goated with a sauce, you get another draw off the top of your deck, and if this is Celery Right Sea, you are the GOAT. Are you the GOAT? Oh, that'd be so impressive if you can dodge a Mowgli and draw the Celia's Right Sea off the top of the deck. I think that
it would be impressive. Cinema for sure, right? Franz would have certified the hottest hands in the game. That would be absolutely crazy. But he doesn't get it. This is going to be the opening that Oryx needs to get back into this game. We are missing ramp here. This could be disastrous, right? For some people, they scoop up right away when this happens. So Oryx gets to continue to build his board. Franz going to be completely off curve for what his deck is trying to do.
Yeah, and it just feels like it's just such a slow situation. I don't even think you have the patent pending Cheshire Cat in hand. Usually, if you miss ramp, you can use your 3 ink turn to play Cheshire Cat. So you're already down tempo, like you said, but you got a third ink turn, but I don't think you can do anything. Oh, never mind. We do have the Cheshire Cat, so that is pretty nice coming in from the Lazy Boy. At least you got that to go off of, and you can get a nice little cheeky plus onto the Mowgli as well, as the Royal Guard is going to take him down in the challenge.
And look at what this Grandmother Willow enables, being able to have this Hades looking for a deal come down so early, forcing Franz to put that Cheshire Cat under the deck. What looked like could have been really, really good, start to claw his way back into this game, just immediately gets shut down.
Yeah, this one might be leaning towards the more over side of it, but you still can kind of slowly start to creep back in. That is a good way to do it with the Genie Wish Fulfilled, able to cycle another card, and then you can maybe set up an Elsa, just still get some of your power plays off. If Orax is going to deliver a Horseman Strikes here onto this Genie, that feels just back-breaking, but we're already in Demona land, as Demona is going to exert the Basil and the Genie here.
It is exerting the cards, and only Oryx is drawing here, JDZ. Franz did not touch his deck. He already has cards in hand. So Oryx has all the benefit, and Franz gets none of it. This is not looking good. Franz going to need to make some moves here quickly to start getting back into this game.
I mean, that's an option. I guess you play this evasive thing, and maybe you can try to go race, but that just seems so dangerous with these horseman strikes coming around. Going into your 6 ink turn now, you're gonna play, or excuse me, your 5 ink turn. You're gonna play your own Hades looking for a deal. This might net you some cards here, unless you just want to toss that Demona to the bottom of the deck. I'm certain that is who was targeted here in this situation. What's the choice?
It's an interesting one. It's definitely tough. I think both of these characters have some value to them. You got to imagine he picked the Demona and is, seeing. And yeah, Oryx, whatever it was, not interested in it, valuing those cards. Wonder what that means for what's in his hand. Could this be the opportunity for Franz here?
This is I think this is a good scenario. I mean, as bad as things have gone for Franz, I think that was a good little turn of events. You got some more cards. You're able to continue to ink. You're able to get to your Hades. You're able to play the long game as the Leaping Reindeer is going to come through and take down the Genie. That feels bad for Franz, as you wish you could have squeezed a couple more units of lore out of that Genie wish fulfilled. But here we are. Mowgli comes through as well. You need this Mowgli to miss. You're going to need this ink, and you're also going to need, let's see, the check in hand. We didn't get a chance to show it.
Yeah, let's see what it's going to be. Is it all characters? Again, it is. Some powerful characters coming up. Things like that Demona available to us next turn. Hades available in 2 turns. And yeah, Oryx seeing that Demona and going ahead and saying, you know what? Gonna quest my characters then, because you're going to exert them either way.
Yeah, and the exert on the Elsa, I think it's nice. That's a good start. Maybe we can ink and play a 1-cost character. That's not bad either. This is a great turn. Really, Mowgli is so powerful in this situation because you usually like to set up your Demona with your opponent not being able to know that the Demona is imminent, where now you did that same play. You had to set up for your Demona turn, and your opponent knows that it's there. So now they can get the maximum benefit out of that, as the Horseman will strike the Elsa down.
Yeah, you mentioned that card earlier. It is one of the benefits to playing an Amber strategy. Just so good, particularly in this Blurple matchup. Usually they do have an evasive or 2 on the field, and getting something like that Elsa when you don't have anything on board to deal with it feels so good. We're also continuing to press this lore advantage up to 7. So even though Franz had some potential in that hand, we saw some heavy hitters. It's doing the thing that Blurple does, which is unfortunately only play 1 card per turn. Might be too slow in terms of catch up here.
That is very true, and that does sting, as we'll elect to take the Treasure Cat line instead of the Demona play. Orax, identifying that Demona was a threat, had to flood the board, and you were a little punished there because you're able to take out the Eilon Wee as well as the Hades looking for a deal. So great turn coming in from Fran. Let's see if Orax can keep that same energy and momentum and have another good turn as well. I think that's how this match resolves itself. Who has the most good turns in a row usually comes out on top, as the Maleficent is down. I think this is another card for dogs. Orax thought they were playing against some dogs tonight. You can tell.
You always have to respect them. Yeah, this Maleficent vexed party goer. Okay, and the party is getting started when we're in the ICL on a Wednesday. Seeing cards like this, seeing Marshmallow, like, what are we doing, man? This is the party, okay? Oryx brought it to us. And yeah, so when this character quests, we're gonna be able to return, okay, this Cheshire Cat back to hand, but we don't want to do that. So this is purely here for some lore right now.
Oh, this thing, I believe this Maleficent is purely here just to keep less cards in my hand. So when you demon me, I can draw more. I think when it was going to be in the inkwell or on the board. It does quest for 2 now. So that's not nothing. I think that is, if you get to a low resource thing, or if you can kind of win this card advantage war or this card advantage game, you can have this Maleficent maybe start to chip away at that lore total. But Franz is hanging on to some cards in hand. You have cards in hand. This game is still very much alive and well for both of these players. I like this spot. Willow and the Maleficent will start to quest here, putting that pressure on, getting up to 12.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, the Maleficent isn't really doing too much in terms of ability, maybe not even in terms of like attack power, but to lore, we're up to 12. It feels pretty good. It's something you have to answer. That 4 willpower, you got to do something with it. So starting off with the Elsa coming down feels good when we are able to get that Dumbo off the board. We don't want the evasives there. We want to use this Cheshire Cat to clear it on out of here. Stop that card draw potential right in its tracks.
Right. Oh, I like that. I think you are 100% correct on that, as the Elsa is going to come on through and sting the Dumbo. But notably, Franz, they're keeping some damage floating on this Elsa, not removing all of it, just enough to take down the Dumbo, keeping 2 remaining. And next turn, if you want it, you can get through this Cheshire Cat. And that is a plus that you would like to need. And I believe Franz has done enough to slowly start to crawl back into an advantage position. But is it too late? And has too much time passed? And have you lost too much lore to make the most benefit of that?
Well, what would be really funny here is if we did have an Inkable and then the Raging Storm, because then Franz would be right back to behind, right? Or they would be at even, but we don't have it here. So you're saying there's a chance. 12 lore on one side, sure, but now Franz's board is looking nice and healthy. But like I said, we're getting close to that 8 ink. We need to be respectful of the fact that this Raging Storm could come down at any moment.
And we go Hades looking for a deal and we give up the cards there. I'm thinking in that situation, we got to play to these. I got to send it, whatever's at the bottom of the deck. I think you got to tuck it away there and hope for better days, as the Willow is going to get sent with the Cheshire Cat. So now Elsa is at her full health capability, leaving nothing but a Tigger and a Nakoma on the other side of the board, I think. And then Let It Go. Dangerous Let It Go being played, going up to 8 ink. Franz saying, you ain't got it. You ain't built like that. I like the tenacity there coming in from the Lazy Boy.
He is not worried about it at all. Maybe for good reason. Who knows? Because he just gave him the ink to get there. If we're at home, we got to be rooting for the Raging Storm off the top. We want to push it to the game 3. And right now, it's looking like Franz might just be able to press a little bit ahead here if we don't find it very, very soon. Look at the lore on board. He's only at 2, but there's no characters besides this Tigger on the other side. Starting off with an Elsa, I guess it feels good to get the Cheshire Cat out of here, but you really want to be able to do more.
Wow, what a great Cheshire Cat as well. If you look underneath the Cheshire Cat, there were 2 T-Pos, I believe, and another card that is not one of your high impact, high value cards. So if you're going to get a Cheshire Cat as well with a multiple boost and it's not going through your hand, that's a great one to send down to your discard pile, because you basically just thin your deck of useless, superfluous nonsense there in this spot. So Franz looking strong. You're going to need to get to that Raging Storm here very soon, or at least a way to draw some cards, as Orax is slowly starting to lose this position, Willow. It's climbing. Yeah. The questing campaign has started, and you still have that Dream Woodchuck guidebook just hanging out for a little bit of extra refill playing around that Demona.
Little bit of extra insurance for sure. Oh my goodness, playing the Tigger for nothing, playing the Rafiki. It's just not the things that you want to see off the top. Oryx has got to be feeling frustrated. On the other side of the board, Franz seeing everything that he wants to see. We've got 2 Hades that are going to be questing. We have the Junior Woodchuck's guidebook to continue refilling the hand. I don't think we ever played that Demona, JDZ. We never needed it. This is an insane position for Franz, coming out of nowhere where this was supposed to be a lost game if you asked us a few turns ago.
For sure. You're talking about scoop them up. We're talking about not having a game. You're talking about missing ramp, and none of that matters anymore, as Franz has now accelerated directly to the driver's seat. Now we're in Raging Storm or Buzz terrain. And if you do go for the Raging Storm, we have that Dream Woodchuck guidebook that's already played on board now. So you could just rebuild quite instantly. So you might have to get to a situation where you need multiple Junior Woodchuck guidebooks. And we know for sure that it's Demona Scourge, the Wyvern Clan in hand, as just slamming one of your own to try to get some resources here.
So this is a start. We get to draw some cards, okay? We can use this Tigger to get something off of the board. Potentially, we can even use both of them, like it looks like we're trying to do, to take 2 lore off of this board. So we slow it down a little bit, okay? We're not out of the woods yet, though. You gotta hope that Demona found you something off the top of your deck, and it's gonna be Raging Storm if I had it my way. Let's see how Franz responds to this, though.
Yeah, I think we're Raging Storm or bust. And it's got to be something pretty big, you would think, because you still have some ink remaining left over and you didn't play it to the board with this Demona available, keeping 2 cards in hand. You understand your opposition does have access to a Demona of their own. So if they were to spin back with their own Demona, they can Stone by Day your Demona and then draw some more resources there. So clearly you have something in your hand that you could not play with these remaining 2 inks, as Elsa, the 5th spirit, is going to exert this Demona. Is there a way we can bounce some cards back to the hand as well?
Oh, and putting it into the inkwell with that Into the Unknown. Now, one thing I want to note about what Franz has done really, really well here is use this Dumbo and the other evasives that he had on board to hopefully refill his hand back up a little bit. We saw him using taking some time to use that Dumbo ability, okay? And that's because he is playing expertly here, because if Oryx does find the Raging Storm off the top, we can now rebuild thanks to those decisions to draw cards. But we don't find it. We are only able to Horseman Strikes the Dumbo away. And I think this is going to be the end here for Oryx. 2-0 for Franz? That's vintage. We don't see the 2-0 too often in the ICL.
Even less often. You rarely see the on the draw miss ramp win. Usually that spells a recipe for disaster. But I think Franz played it very well. You stayed cool. You played your plan. You did your alternate routes. You had your Cheshire Cat on 3. You stayed calm. You kept building, and you vibed out, man. So I think that was a very well negotiated situation coming in from the Sapphire Amethyst player. The Loungers, or excuse me, the Lazyboys getting it done. Orax, I mean, unfortunately for you, it didn't work out. You didn't really get the chance to really demonstrate what your deck is capable of in that situation. So don't hang your head too low. But still, I think the match was incredible to see from that Sapphire Amethyst perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. We love an upset, right? Typically, that Amber and Amethyst strategy going to be the one that we see come out on top, but Franz played it expertly. I believe production said that we were going to get some interviews, so feel free to cut us off whenever you're ready.
Sure.
But it was amazing to see, like we said, missing the ramp, still being able to pull it out. Okay. They're joining soon, sounds like, but yeah, still being able to pull it out. I mean, it's great. It speaks to the commitment, the dedication, and staying the course. A lot of players, they're mental. They get tilted, JDZ. How many times you miss ramp on Sapphire and Amethyst and you're ready to scoop it up?
All the time. Yeah, I'm a big tilter myself. I am an historic tilter. If something goes wrong, I get I'm a mentally tough person in my life, but just in this game, for some reason, I just crumble when I'm like, okay, here's this adversity has befallen me. But if you've been there a ton, you can obviously tell that Franz plays this game an incredible amount. And it was just very calm. Hey, this is something that happens. You just kind of have to go to the alternate plan and just stay consistent to the schedule, to the scheme, and hopefully that it works out for you. And sometimes it will, and it did in that situation. So well played to him. GG's. I thought you got it done, and that was really nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Super, super cool. All right, sounds like we're going over to the interviews. Let's do it.
Hello.
Hey, welcome in to the winner. I know it's us. I didn't know it was us either, but we're here.
Sorry,
I thought it was Gabe, but it's us. We're here. ICL on a Wednesday with the Lazyboys, champion of the day, Franz. Franz, talk to us about when you look on the other side, you see Amber and Amethyst, which some people would argue is a bad matchup for Sapphire and Amethyst, okay? And then you miss ramp on 2. We were just talking about that mental and how you stayed calm, you piloted it well through it. What were you thinking in those moments?
Well, obviously, coming off of the first game where I just open my first 7 and I see the app, I don't think I can possibly sculpt my hand better for this matchup on the play. Maybe I can sculpt the first 4 cards in my deck so I don't draw a Hades so I have to ink the Elsa on turn 4. But I can't complain. I got to play the Demona right after. But going into game 2, I know that it's essentially a free game for me because I had such a hot start in game 1. So seeing that I have to mulligan 7, some people might be a little bit risky there, but I know against this matchup specifically, I really don't want to be too far off of my curve. And I didn't see if I were to keep cards in the 7 that isn't mulligan against this matchup, it would have to be a 1-drop into a guidebook into a cat. Then I would think about keeping those, but I would still probably throw away the guidebook or something. But I was very lucky to be able to find the Cheshire Cat on, I think, the exact turn that I needed to play it. And then from there, I was able to just to curve out normally. He wasn't able to stack together a lot of draw spells that he needed, and he obviously wasn't able to find that Raging Storm. But this matchup is really, really dependent on me not overextending into his Raging Storm, me not being super reliant on playing Dumbos down too early, playing Genies down too early. I want to be playing down those Cheshire Cats. I want to be playing down those Tigers, so I don't run into the horseman strikes too early and really lose tempo. So being able to come back from missing ramp and essentially just get a solid curve from the Elsas and the Hades and into another Hades into just stacking draws on top of each other and him running out of steam, I think is really what did it for me. I feel like I had a little, ironically, even though missing ramp, I think my draw was kind of lucky in the mid game of that matchup.
Right on, man. Right on. It was really nice to see, and we were watching, and you definitely put on a clinic there. But Sapphire Amethyst in the ICL, is that your bread and butter? That doesn't seem like a strategy that I've seen you play too much here in the ICL. But is that your strat going into this? And what do you think about that Sapphire Amethyst deck going into potentially core constructed in Infinity format? I mean, excuse me, in the Wilds Unknown format. I know you've been playing a lot of Infinity, but what are your thoughts, just really quickly, on Sapphire Amethyst going into that next set?
Yeah, just in general, we haven't lost Elsa yet. We haven't lost Dumbo. We haven't lost Genie yet. We haven't lost Sail yet. So the core of that deck is still there. I think there's definitely some interesting cards to work with. I know that I was stimming with the lounge a little bit about the new legendary Louisa, about how that card can like exert two cards on turn 6 is really interesting, and it's definitely an effect that Blurple I think needs more of. Like we have the Elsa, we have the Demona, but people are playing like the 4-drop Isis for a reason, and that's to get those spot exertions in. And I think that Louisa is a very interesting card that could see a lot of experimentation, but just in general, like we aren't losing Sail, we aren't losing Genie, we aren't losing Elsa. So this core stays the same for another few months. So I think this deck will still be pretty viable. As for ICL, because the lounge has mostly been playing Infinity, I haven't really been teching for core constructed for the last month or so. This Blurple list was a list that I took to the first set, my only set championship that I could go to. So it's been like that for like three weeks. I unsleeved it so I could sleeve some Infinity decks. So I just re-sleeved this back up. But like a week ago, this had been sleeved for like 3 weeks. So.
All right. Well, one thing I want to ask you, you mentioned tech cards or your lack of them and how it's kind of just the standard list. And, at this point in the metagame, we're getting ready for the next set to come out. Things are kind of cemented, right? The cards fall where they may. The only thing I want to ask, though, looking on the other side of the table, we saw a couple of cards that are not typical inclusions in the Amber and Amethyst strategy. We saw Bagheera that got inked. We saw the Maleficent actually ended up getting played. We saw the Marshmallow. Now, of course, you ended up having answers in that first game for them, and then they didn't kind of come up again. But is that something that you're thinking of when you are going into the next game? Or is it something that you're like, you know what? It doesn't really concern me. I'm just going to focus on my game plan.
So I think for the Marshmallow specifically, while that card is a blowout and it absolutely can blow out any single deck, especially a Purple Mirror, I know that I have 10 copies of cards that immediately put it into the ink. So I wasn't super worried about the Marshmallow as long as I was able to manage my removal spells well. The Nakoma is definitely an issue. And that was something that I was really scared of. And even in game 1, I was so worried about that card getting a ton of value off of like Cat or anything that I kind of overextended a little bit into a potential Raging Fire. If he had it the turn after I played that last Demona, I only had like 1 or 2 cards in hand, and a Raging Storm really would have reset the board. But that Nakoma just being a ball of stats forced me to give up 4 lore to take it out. So I think that card really specifically is scary for me. And the Marshmallow is very scary as well, but I feel much better answering that card rather than looking at a ball of stats on my opponent's board that are bigger that's just bigger than anything I have.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else, JDZ, that you have for our winner here before he gives us some shout outs and we keep on pushing?
No, man, I just want to say it was a very well played match. I enjoy seeing people who are clearly in tune with the strategies that they're playing. I think I learned something about staying mentally tough and just riding the wave and playing to your best of your capability. So very well done. Congratulations. You represent your team very well. As we are about to go on to the next round, I know you have some, you got to rest and get ready to cheer the rest of the Lazy Boys on. We'll kick it to you for any special shout outs or anything that you want to say.
Obviously,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Obviously, shout out to the lounge. We're doing some really cool things with Infinity. I'm excited to put a lot of people into top cut of hopefully Indianapolis and maybe even Dortmund as well. Let's keep on grinding. Shout out to literally everyone in the lounge. I'm not naming every single person.
Right on. W's in the chat for the lounge. All right, Mr. Franz. But I think we got another game that we're about to hop into, Willow Bees, as we have another match coming your way. So good evening to you, Mr. Franz, and have a good night. Thank you for playing, and thank you for supporting the ICL.
Yeah, all right. And here we are right into the next one. Looks like we got the Lucky Dimes versus North County's very own Salty Ducks. Now, take a look at this port state, okay? One of them super, super wide. The other one, only one lone Hades standing. What do we see here?
And this looks like the very same matchup that we just saw, but it seems like it's going a lot different here for Andy Chang versus Nico in this situation. I believe Andy Chang is an Illuminator I've met before. Actually, I think he came up here and came to a set championship that I went to from the Salty Ducks down there in North County, doing his thing. But yeah, this looks like a very comfortable spot for the Amber and Amethyst strategy here in this spot. It seems like we jumped in as Elsa. Lilo is another great card in this deck that we don't really talk about too much, as it works quite nicely with the Raging Storm. Tigger, they're quickly becoming a staple in a lot of Amethyst strategy, and that Cheshire Cat that's been boosted. So the story kind of writes itself of what has happened here on this side.
Yeah, it's super fun trying to piece together when we jump into these rounds. Something else that's super fun is seeing all the different inclusions in the deck tonight. I unfortunately cannot quite see that card there. Can you see what that is?
That is the Madam Mim elephant right there. We just bounced Hades the Infernal Schemer back to the hand. So a little bit of, you go to your pass. Seems like, I like to think, at least try to get into the heads of these Illuminators. Seems like we're attacking for Amethyst or Amber Steel is probably what we're trying to play, trying to beat with this Madam M elephant, and also recur this Hades to continue to send characters to the discard, to the Inkwell. Not the worst thing either, but going against a Raging Storm deck, fueling my opponent's Inkwell always feels quite bad for me.
Yeah, it's super interesting, this elephant and what it enables. I don't think it's going to end up being relevant, but it's kind of funny too with the Lilo. Typically, you want to just use the Hades on the Lilo so you can't keep recurring it. But this elephant, if you're able to hold the right amount of damage, you could kind of like keep just moving the damage to Lilo. But, you know, the stat line on that Tigger does make it a little bit awkward. But it's fun to see how these decks change and also how the stories change from game to game. Because like you said, this is a mirror match of what we just saw, but it's like the complete opposite direction. As Into the Unknown comes down, getting rid of that Lilo. So we didn't end up doing it with the Hades. We're going to be able to save that and use it for something hopefully like this evasive later on.
Yeah, I think that is probably what you want to hit, because you don't really have an answer for in the vases right now. Anything to challenge or any type of Cheshire Cat to start bouncing things over. As you got your own Madam M elephant, as we are going to go bounce back something to the hand.
Didn't even quest first. Hold on.
What got sent? I don't think anything got sent just yet. Did anything get sent back to the hand?
I think we touched our discard pile. That card doesn't do with that.
I missed. I think I might have missed something there. That Madam Elephant came down. Something had to be sent to the hand, or something totally.
Something must have happened. Wait, what is happening?
It could have been something.
This isn't a discard pile. These might be characters on the table.
Those are on board.
We had stacked up because it was just so wide and you can't see them.
Oh, that's what it is.
We were like, hold on, Judge. Like, what's it?
Yeah, we're just gonna get a quick scoop up. So this is Nico has a much different build, it seems, from what Orax had in the previous round.
Sure.
As Andy Chang. Yeah, I believe this is the same Andy Chang that I think I've met this Illuminator before. Just looking at the size of that quadruple sleeve deck, there is just actually monstrous what we got going on.
Dude, monster size of a deck. With the DLC playmat as well. Yeah. The foiled out Simba. Production, I didn't hear you there. If you want to try it again, sorry about that. But okay. So we did have Nico take the game there. I believe I think Andy just kind of scooped it up.
Yeah.
Super interesting how these builds are changing. Is it something with just the last of the winter spell meta? Just, hey, why not? Let's just throw a bunch of stuff in our deck. Or do you think these are like trying to get into the minds of the ICL players across from them?
I think that's the never stop cooking. Okay. I know we're getting Pixar in, and Ratatouille is not coming just yet. But what was the anyone can cook? I think anyone can cook.
Oh, Ratatouille. That's Ratatouille.
That's Ratatouille. I think anyone can cook. And I think what happens sometimes, what I really don't like, is that sometimes in our game, people will conclude what the best strategies are and we'll just stop. Okay,
Yeah.
the innovation stops, the exploration stops, the cooking ceases, and I think that is a huge detriment. And I think in this winter spell meta, people just kept cooking a little bit, and strategies were still being developed and still coming on even at the end of it. And I think this Amber and Amethyst strat is one of those things that has continued to be developed. I mean, there's some cool things that you can do there in this deck. I know there's like this version I think is predicated on the Raging Storm. You're playing a ton of one cost characters that can replace themselves. You have the Cuscos, I think, go into this strategy. I think it's very aggressive, and then you just reset the board and continue to play that way. I think that's a really cool way to play. That
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and all over the place too.
Yeah, it's fun to see how these decks continue to grow and evolve. Anyone can cook, but maybe not everybody should. Okay, we're gonna see how these decks can pan out with all of these tech cards here. One thing I want to know is that Andy Chang did do a full ship 7. He wanted nothing to do with the cards that he had in his hand. Maybe that means he didn't see the ramp. We're gonna be hoping to find it off of these new cards here. So it'll be interesting to see if that pans out. But I mean, we saw Franz do it, right? No ramp, still came out on top. Andy might be chasing that here as we see.
You got to look for it. No ramp on 2. You know what to do. You got to ship it all back and hope for better days. As I think you at least you give yourself a chance, and maybe you can get it. Maybe if you ramp on 3, that's not the worst case a lot of times. As we're starting Diablo here after Ink Pass coming in from Andy Chang. So going to that second Ink turn, let's see if the gambit paid off. If you were able to find that ramp on 2. And
nothing. You hate to see it. What is going on today? Ramp is canceled, okay? Take Sapphire out of your decks, all set 12 and all infinity long. It's not worth it because missing it just feels so bad. Mowgli's peeking at the hand. This is just disrespectful because you know we don't have the ramp in there. We hit something. Oh, goodness.
There's not even that many actions you can hit. I guess you got the Let It Goes, you got the Into the Unknowns, you got the Sail the Other Seas. Maybe that's maybe hit the Junior Woodchuck guidebooks as well, but that does sting the nostrils. You don't hit ramp and you lose another card from your hand. The Ursula Voice Stealer is in hand along with the Elsa, the Demona, and the 2 genies there. So you're gonna have to make some very tough ink decisions here as you are kind of struggling to fill up your ink well, as Wasabi quickly finds his way down to the ink well, and you don't do anything again. So that's 3 turns in a row doing nothing, Willoughby's. Is that
Mowgli? Sorry to interrupt. That Mowgli taking that turn 3 play. I mean, it's not like you want to play the Into the Unknown onto the Diablo, but it's like sometimes you just want to do something, right? Sometimes you're like, you know what? I just want to put a card down because doing nothing for 3 turns, that is not what Andy wants to see. This may be the saving grace, though, because it didn't look like these Illumineers. They had only just finished game 1. Okay, 20 minutes for 2 games. It's a tall ask, but we kind of got some control strategies going on. So maybe we can finish this in time, but it's going to mean a 2-0 for Nico if that's the case.
Yeah, that's going to kind of hurt. And Andy doesn't have that comfort to be able to just kind of scoop this thing up and kind of push it to that 3rd game, because I would have wrapped this one up super quick. Just like we talked about my mental toughness I need to work on. But this Genie Wish Fulfilled versus Genie Magical Researcher in this situation, you literally did not do anything for the first 3 turns. You're just going to put out this Genie and pass, and he can't really he can't really do too much heavy lifting to help your board position out. At least Nico didn't slam the Horseman Strikes there to get rid of his evasive character. That would have just been absolutely devastating, I must say, as we are going to continue to rock and roll with this Nani adding the Mowgli to the hand.
Yeah, the Nani stage manager putting some ink into our hand. Really, we have no interest in playing this Mowgli anymore. We've seen what's in the hand. At this point, we are leagues away from anything super meaningful on the ink side. Andy gonna be staring down a full board with Nico all the way up to 7 already. That Genie Magical Researcher just gonna continue to boost it and quest for more and more every turn. I mean, this is looking really, really rough, especially when Andy's deck is really, really good at going tall, right? We can get things like that Hades in there, that Demona, but it's not really good at going wide. And that's what Nico is doing so expertly here, making it so something like even this Diablo, okay, this unassuming 1-drop kind of becomes a spell book from the days of old, just being able to sit there and quest for lore with nothing that Andy can really do to slow this down.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, I really do not favor Andy's spot, but I think you might have to do the reluctant thing that you do not want to do and send this Genie on a challenge into the Magic Researcher and then send the Elsa in to finish it off, because if you don't, those two cards will just straight beat you by themselves. As you disagree, as Genie now is going to take down that Diablo, finally we'll get a nice little replacement there as the Elsa is springing forth and taking out the Mowgli as well. So 2 for the price of 1, I think, is probably better than nothing there.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, you proposed, like you said, swinging both of those characters into that magical researcher. Andy probably did consider that, but opted to take down those 2 characters instead. But here's the thing about this magical researcher, JDZ. We continue to boost him. So ultimately, he's kind of questing for more lore than either of those 2 characters that you took out. It might have just been more advantageous to take out this researcher first. I wonder if Andy's going to be regretting that decision as we bounce the researcher back to hand with all of the cards that was underneath it as well. Devastating play. Something Andy might have been a slight oversight there, because we did see the Madam Mim elephant in hand last turn. We knew it was in the deck.
Yeah, they say the punish. I guess you have Demona, so you're not really concerned about your opponent having that many cards in hand, but the punish was swift and severe in that situation, because you could have got him off the board and you could have came back. You could have hit the spin back on the rest of those little 2 other characters a little bit later, but that is how the cookie crumbled in this situation. And now you can't even imagine trying to win this resource game. Maybe there's a world you can slam this Demona and hopefully draw a couple cards off of that, and while your opponent can't really have any access or any way to combat, let it go. Taking down the Madam M elephant is a great way to start.
Yeah, getting everything off the board as quickly as possible is the name of the game here. And there it is. We do see the Demona. We do only get to draw 1 off of it, but notably, Nico doesn't get to draw off of it at all. So, you know, maybe there is a world where the line is working out somewhat okay. But, you know, on the other side of the board, right, Nico's got 11 lore already, a lot of ink to play with, and we see that his deck has plenty of low-costed characters. So what happens if Nico just slams down a bunch of little guys, a bunch of 1 and 2s? Okay, that might make the difference.
And we still have access to Raging Storm as well. Let's not forget, I'm certain that this color group and this deck specifically, just some of the cards that we've seen so far, really indicate that there is a number of Raging Storms, maybe even max copies of Raging Storm in this deck. So if you're playing this resource game and you are getting these bounce back type effects back to the hand, there's your line right there, double Daisy Duck. What is that doing here? As those Donald Duck states are hitting the board. Why are those here? You hate to see it, as they're out here questing for a lot of lower pressure there.
Listen, here's the thing. Sometimes people say you can't beat them both. You either beat, let's say, for example, Blurple, or you beat Dogs. Okay, Nico's trying to do it all. Nico's trying to go fast sometimes, control other times, and it might just pay out for him. He's got 1 round under his belt. Okay, and now he's looking to make a case to get the second, to get the 2-0. 12 lore. Okay, going up to 16 just on the daisies, 18 if you count the whole board. How do we come back from this?
That's 4 lore in those days. They're over there hanging out. But that voice stiller will not be denied, as you are going to elect to exert the Hades, looking for a deal instead to send one of these more robust characters down to the Inkwell. The Daisy Ducks are not your threat or your biggest threat right now. You just want to get some of those stats off the field. And we will go ahead and send where'd that Nani go? To the discard pile. Oh, we got challenged by the Demona there. Okay.
Yeah, got it on out of here. Now, a lot less threatening. Okay, they've got a lot of lore for sure. There's no denying, but we've kind of built ourselves up, and we potentially on the next round have some crackbacks into things like this Hades to deal with one of them. And if you're questioning the other, we're just challenging it out of here and continuing to press. Also, Andy's at 5 lore. Okay, lots of characters on board, could potentially start to catch up here if we can't do some establishing. But starting off with some more 2 questers, that's nice. That feels good.
Yeah, and that's another lore thread as well in the Magical Researcher. So this is just a ton of lore. And there's another 1-cost character being added to the board. So you are a huge board flood, quest for 4. The board is very wide. Elsa and the Octopus, Royal Guard in hand. You can get 1 exert here. Is that going to be enough? If you can slam a Demona, you're feeling good about it. Maybe even, I don't know if Cheshire Cat is even good enough in this scenario with the amount of ink that you have available. I think it might be Demona time.
I think it might be Demona or bust here because, I mean, this is a really wide board now. If we had some lore, to play with, it would be one thing, but we're up to 16. Like, that's danger zone, right? That's like, hold on. The alarms are sounding. We've got to do something quick, okay? We've got to get rid of both of these daisies and I'm just gonna say pretty much everything, right? We're gonna get maybe the magical researcher could stick around, maybe, but it's thin ice, right? So how do we navigate this? And if we had that Demona, we would have slammed it. So I mean, maybe Nico's doing enough, recognizing going wide. You asked, what are the daisies in here for? That's what they're in here for, JDZ. Yeah. Sometimes relevant, sometimes.
Pay one, and slam it in Quest for 2. Daisy Duck, ever since it was released in Shimmering Skies, has been an absolute menace to the whole format. Anytime it's there, it's a very robust, powerful card. 2 Quester, 1 4 for 1. I don't think they've printed another Daisy Duck equivalent since. I think this card is just a very powerful card, and I like powerful cards in my game, but this one might be doing a bit too much because the downside is not even that big of a deal, as we're just going to grab these cards and scoop them up. GG's, well played to both of these Illumineers, as we saw both sides of this axis happen. Amber and Amethyst taking down Sapphire Amethyst and losing in the previous game that we saw here featured.
Looking like Scoop City. Oh, heartbreak for Andy there. He was looking at it and he was saying, so you're saying there's a chance. He was feeling so good, okay? And then he blinked. And on the other side, it was just like a rush of these little guys, right? Tiny little Lilo coming for you. The little Daisy Duck. It's like, what are you guys all doing here? Are you old enough to be at this party? This is not, we got Demona on the other side. Aren't you scared? But no. Even so, okay, Nico got it done, even when it looked like Andy was going to be able to bring it back. So another 2-0. Maybe it's not so rare. Maybe it's not so rare.
Usually we go best of 3. Usually, I've seen a lot of ICL. There's a lot of best of 3s that happen. A lot of you went on the draw, and 2-0s, or I don't know. Maybe now at the end of the meta, I think people have now solved it, how to win on the play and on the draw more than usual. So that could be what it is. Here we are. But here we are back at our feature match, though. So taking the friendly neighborhood. I want to say friendly neighborhood spider so bad.
They know what they're doing. Yeah. I got the James Jameson.
Almost.
Yeah. That's him. Okay. It's James Jameson working for the Daily Bugle, but now he's interested in lore. Okay.
I need Spider-Man. Give me pictures of Spider-Man. Oh,
it's not Spider-Man, but it is our friends, our casters for round 2, I believe, coming in. Welcome. Were you guys able to catch some of that match there?
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was brutal.
Yeah, that's.
I felt, when you're top decking and just begging for a Raging Storm and it just doesn't come, it's tough.
We didn't see it in any of those games, right? We didn't see it in the man and the 2-0 for against Franz. Didn't see it there, and then we didn't see it. So Amber Amethyst.
The other game didn't need it, to be fair. He had enough.
Very true.
He actually was very glad it didn't brick his hand. So
that is super true. Okay,
that's true. Yeah, but no, I mean the Raging Storm stocks are in. They're down right now.
Okay. Raging Storm is fake. You've heard it. It's not real. Take it out of your decks.
Everyone take it out. It's bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, and then
I don't like it.
It's funny looking ahead to Infinity as well, because you get excited about Raging Storm, right? It's like this cool new thing. You're like, oh my gosh, traditional board wipe is back. And then it's time for Infinity. Yeah, be prepared. So it's like, what's the case for Amber right now? I say that, but Amber is like an insane color right now.
Amber is, and Amber is, this new set has really were taking care of Amber in this new set. So I'm very excited to see what happens. But I don't think we're going to see a lot of Raging Storm at Indy. I think Raging Storm is the McDonald's we have at home.
The be prepared is back. Okay, Infinity. Maybe you could make it. Maybe someone can make a deck where you're playing both. Maybe you're playing Rage Storm.
I was just about to say I'm mentally prepared for both.
Yeah,
I don't remember how badly Amethyst Ruby used to brick when we had so many high uninkables, and I think that's what you're asking for with both of those.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
I'd love
Somebody
to
can
play
make that.
against it. I'd love to play into that. Please bring it.
Hey, don't sleep on the Amber Ruby strategy, okay? Those gamers are dedicated. They're cooking. They like the toys that they're getting in the next set, okay?
They have definitely been
Yes.
cooking, and
They have
I've
been
run
cooking.
into it testing in Infinity already. Some Ruby Amethyst and Ruby Sapphire, and I'm not looking forward to it being back.
You're not ready? I don't know. You seem like you can be full powered now, Courtney. You got your Amber Steel back. You're singing songs. They got some new toys.
Yeah.
You seem like
That's-
you should be really happy. And they changed.
I am very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
I am very happy with Steel Song and where it's going to be this next
There's
set.
too many
but
choices compared to the last couple sets. No choices.
I don't know.
We love that. We
That's
love
I think
that.
that's my issue with Infinity. I think it's just too much. I need it. I'm a core constructed guy. I like core constructed because it seems like it's more my speed. It's more narrow and I can focus on more things. Infinity is just too much. I'm overwhelmed whenever I have the deck editor open. I'm like, oh, there's just too many cards. I can't do this. And I just log off to it.
And I've been practicing too, and then someone plays something. I'm like, oh my god, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That
Yeah,
is,
I
we
forgot
did
about
used to
that
play
card.
that. Oh
Mhm.
man.
I was like, oh, I can get rid of that next turn. See a snake or
Yep.
a rabbit
See,
come down, and I was like,
we-
forgot about those guys.
We got to be
Yeah.
careful in Indianapolis, okay? Because with DLCs, the timer already goes long, right? We're going to time every round. There's always going to be, out of those 2,000 players, there's always going to be people going to time. But then you consider the format is Infinity. Like every turn, people are going to be picking up cards and reading
Picking up
them. And like,
cards, yeah.
like, so it's going to be even
Yeah.
worse. We're gonna
I
have
pick
to-
up cards
What?
in core. What am I gonna do in Infinity? I'm gonna be like,
What?
where did this come from?
What does that do?
That was
What?
printed in set 1. I never played that.
I
card.
don't remember that. That's not playable.
I feel like now is a good time for a PSA of everybody start reading cards.
Yeah.
There you go.
Scroll on
Yeah.
through Dreamborn and remind yourself what exists.
You
in
gotta do it. You gotta do a
Lorcana.
real. Courtney, you gotta do a real PSA. I think you gotta do it. Hi,
Yeah, I
I'm
think we
Courtney.
need that.
Yeah. We need to let the people know it is time.
I would like
to start
every
going back.
round.
Yeah.
I would like every round not to be 2 hours. Please,
Please.
read cards before you go to Indy.
And I think there is a fair point to that because we always assume because our game is so new, but we have been kind of living through history, like been playing like very early on. You kind of forget. Like I remember when we went to Sharp Gaming's last event last time, they had like they had an Infinity tournament there, and a lot of these players were like, I just
yeah.
started playing in set 10, or I just started playing in set
Yeah.
9. I'd never seen
Yes.
these cards before. I never
Yep.
knew what they did. So that's kind of a cool thing that we have that already.
We did
you know?
have a lot of new people come around in rotation, and so it's gonna be interesting to see. People just really might not be familiar with the old meta versus people in set 1 that you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I know what we're doing here. But that might be exciting. They might bring something spicy, which we
You never know.
love. You never
never know.
know.
I'm
There's
excited
some
for it.
stuff going around. So
But
All
I'm
right, it
excited
sounds
for this
like
next
we're
round.
getting out of here. Yeah, good luck on the next round. Thanks for having us.
Bye, y'all.
bye.
Ooh, all right. So we have Dan and Teddy here. I do not know what we can expect them to be playing today, but hopefully we will see shortly. We're looking like we are starting the mulligan here, and
Yep. Do you
Getting
want me to
forward to it.
spoil you? I did ask for what is playing. Or do you want to be surprised? It's up to you.
you know, I was talking to Dan earlier, so I should have asked and didn't. Do you know? Do you know what Teddy is playing?
Yes.
Or Dan?
Let me, I have the list. Oh, let's do
Oh.
some predictions. Let's do some guesses. Maybe we can give some hints. I think meta versus kind of meta, I would say. No.
Yeah, and I would. My guess is that Dan probably is on dogs. Who do you think is going to take the game, though?
Ooh. I dislike one of these decks. And actually, I don't know why I said meta versus kind of meta. They're both very meta. I misread one of the cards. I strongly dislike one of these decks. So I'm going to hope for Dan.
Okay. I feel like I might get in trouble if I go against Dan.
Hey, there is no friendships in casting, okay?
That's
It's
true.
serious.
That's a very
This is
good point.
business. Yeah.
So I'll
But you're
still
still for
probably.
Dan. Okay.
Yeah, I think I still am.
Okay,
No,
that's fair.
no shade to Teddy. I don't know what you're playing. I haven't met you in real life, so I apologize.
Hey, probably a great guy. Probably gonna have a tough match. We'll see. But we're doing our mulligan here. But you never know. I mean, these are the top Wednesday night teams for the ICL. So they've played these decks, I'm assuming, a lot. I'm not on Wednesday night ICL, so I don't know. I don't know if this is their usual colors. You say for Dan, this is his usual?
If he's
Dogs?
playing dogs is been what he has been on for quite some
Okay.
time, but he also likes to spice it up, and I know we've been practicing some Infinity already, so we'll see.
Yeah, I do think a lot of players have not practicing necessarily core as much, have definitely moved over to practicing Infinity. So I wonder if we'll see anything spicy tonight, or if it's mostly going to be the tried and true. This is what we know works. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. We're in that kind of lull between
Yeah.
a new set and set champs is over. So
Yep.
It's always an interesting few weeks of league and the ICL.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you get to be a little spicy.
Yes. Or tired. I know a lot of people in our community, they're like, I think it's my Lorcana break week. I did 4 weekends of set champs. I think I'm going to take a nap.
I was lucky in my first set champs that I played in. I won a mat, and I said, and I'm
incredible.
retired for this set.
Yep. And actually, I've done my job. I'm good. I'm ready to go home, hang out with my dogs, hang out with my husband. I don't need to play this game that much.
Yep.
I could only go to 2, and of course went to the ones with all the team at it, and did not win. So got knocked out.
That is a dangerous part of set champs, particularly depending on your area and how many.
Yes.
We got the fist bumps to start the game.
I love that. That was very cute. That was very sweet. All right. And it should be Teddy on the play, I'm assuming.
We'll see here momentarily. Yep, on the play. So we're going to start off with inking a Dumbo and playing a Basil.
Classic move there. And
so is it safe to say you're not a Blurple fan?
I'm not a Blurple fan. You know, the thing I hate about Blurple is every card, and there's the Bobby, classic dogs. Every card that Blurple draws off their top deck is the best card apart from Tipo. And it makes me very mad. I'm ready for them to rotate out. And every set, they're like, man, I got too many cards to add. I'm like, what is that like? What is it like being the Ravensburger golden child? I'd love to know.
I was about to say, I have been playing Amethyst Steel, so I'm also in the favored child position as well.
Yes, that is
all right.
fair.
Blurple not missing.
Yep, we see the ramp,
which is great.
Tipo goes down. We ink the cat there, and then we are going to quest. I'm assuming that Teddy is like, I know you want to keep your characters up, so even if this Bobby can take out my Basil, why would you want to do that? So I'm going to get as much lore as quickly as possible. We did see Dan also discard a Willow. So I'm curious if he has maybe many Willows in hand.
Yes, so we see him play one here, which really got a good play line here for any dogs player. Will be happy to see that Willow on turn 2 to be able to get out that third character and start spreading the board.
Yep, and we do see that lady go down, which is great. He can either continue to build out his board or he has that shift potential, which is really nice. And then we are at 4 here, and we see the Tigger. And he is bouncing that Willow back into hand, which makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And this Tigger has been tucked in, I feel like, at the end of this set a lot. And just really not only great for this dogs matchup, but for honestly most of the matchups, just disrupting your opponent's play lines is really, really great play.
And for Blurple too, I think it's really wonderful because they have a lot of power once they get to their 5, 6, 7 ink, but some of that early game is really, you have to play it cleanly, you have to get your ramps, you have to let them not run away with it, and so this Tigger just lets you slow everything down. But then we do see, oh wow, he seems, I see why the Willow was discarded, because we had 3 Willows in hand, and they just go right back down.
Yeah, and to your point, now we have 2 ladies out. So if Dan is playing that shift lady, can easily bring back that Willow from the discard without any major issue.
Right. And then it's almost, what do you even have in hand that you need 3 Willows for? What are you going to play that cost? Because it's only the first character. It's not like you can play 3 free characters. And we do see the Elsa go down. And he is going to exert that lady. It looks like quest with the Basil and then take out one of the ladies. And this makes sense to me, just trying to get as much lore on board before potentially you get cleaned out with an Under the Sea and a, oh my gosh, what is it called? Delilah's...
Oh,
Lullaby?
Yes, Lullaby.
Okay.
And right now it looks like I believe Teddy has passed back over to Dan, and Dan thinking through his next play a little bit. Gonna play out a lady and bring back, looks like, both of those cards from his discard. And those Willows here really showing their strength, because not only is he able to shift that lady, but then also play another Willow on this turn. So definitely. And
then could potentially, yep.
There we go. We see our good friend Tramp come down.
And this is always the hard thing about dogs. It is such a challenge because you need to be questing to try to get ahead of them when they're not exerting. But you also know that this Tramp could come down and just get such a good trade with one of your bobbies or something that you don't really care about. And wow, he is just cleaning the board the old-fashioned way, banishing a Tipo with 2 Willows.
Yep.
And I think he is just respecting that he can get better trades right now. And if he goes wide, what is Blurple going to do?
Absolutely. And I think a big point here of Dan kind of realizing he has the ability to trade in and still keep his board state pretty strong is really a good play here as the dog player, because if you let that Blurple side get a little out of control, they can manage the dog side a lot better. So getting that toned down and not getting it to quest away while he's building his board is pretty important.
And you're still, even if you are able to do some Under the Sea shenanigans, you still have to find combos for some of these larger characters on Blurple's side, so it's not as easy as some of the other matchups you may be having, or even a mirror. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And then we do see the Into the Unknown on the lady, and then Elsa is able to do some cleanup. No inking, though, I don't think, on Teddy's side.
No, I did not see an ink on Teddy's side. So Dan pretty much set for the rest of the game with that lady stack being sent to his inkwell. However, he is going to ink to put down a Clarabelle, it looks like.
Oh, interesting. I don't think that's often a common card in dogs. This Clarabelle, so when your opponent has more cards, you are able to draw, which is nice, because I don't think Dan had any cards, so it does fill up the hand a little bit, which is also good for your Tramp as well, because if you don't have anything in hand and you have to discard everything, you're not keeping any cards.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely think that this is a nice little tech card to have in this build.
And I think Teddy is struggling, because I see a Woodchuck go down, and then we have to ink the Sail, which means those 2 cards are not, I'm assuming they're 2 Hades, is my guess. And we're hoping to draw an inkable.
Yeah, that definitely seems correct, and it looks like we did just ink and pass there.
He did do the guidebook, so he did
Yes.
play guidebook, pop guidebook, yes, and then ink the sale. Didn't do much else though against this board that is just growing, and I think Dan is saying, okay, I'm really outpacing you. I feel comfortable starting to catch up. And maybe he's debating if he's going to play anything this turn. I don't think
he did play out the Bobby.
Oh, okay.
In that top corner. So that was the one card he did play. And then we have...
And I think this is smart. He's like, I can start questing out. I'm guessing you have 2 Hades. I'm guessing we're going to see a Hades go down.
Yep.
But I'm so far ahead. You're going to be able to take out one thing with this Elsa, one thing with this Hades.
Yeah, so really good move here on just questing out, because it is really helpful understanding what lines your opponent has at this point, because you're right, he can only remove 2 characters, so might as well get the value out of them while they're on the board before they get removed.
Yep, and then we do see this Lilo go down, and then it is nice that Willow affects the Lilo. That's one of my favorite things about Willow, which sometimes can make her free, and then I'm like, whatever I draw, I know I can probably play. And then we do see the Tramp. And he does, I think, have 1 card in hand, which I think is from that Clarabelle still. So I'm really impressed with that card that let him now, instead of having nothing, he can play that Tramp for value.
Absolutely. And that really is a great line that we saw, because I have not seen that Clarabelle in this deck before. So I think that that's a really good little tech there. And it looks like we're going to play down another Tramp and just
discard everything. Maybe searching for some Lilos, but also, again, what are you gonna do? Hades my Tramp, and then I still have a Tramp. Okay, and I'm guessing he's gonna quest out again. And honestly, this Lilo is kind of almost more potentially valuable for a Hades, because if you are challenging, she's just gonna keep coming back.
Absolutely. So it's kind of a hard decision. I think personally, I would probably value the Tramp over the Lady in this scenario, because Tramp is just a large body that will be multiple characters we'll need to go into to get rid of. But if we utilize the Hades to get rid of a Lilo, it's a little bit easier of a character to deal with every turn, even if it is coming back.
Yeah. Yep. And he does have that Elsa down, which can slowly just whittle away at the Lilo. I am curious what he selected on Dan's side that with this board presence, Dan still wanted to keep on the board. Because he did play down that Hades and did allow Teddy to draw 2, which then we saw him have a card and played the Basil.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if I'm in Dan's shoes in this position and I see my Blurple opponent hasn't necessarily inked every single turn, and has a pretty small hand still, it feels okay to let them have that draw, because they're not able to do a ton each turn with that ink, just due to the fact that a lot of the actions cost a lot in the Blurple build.
And honestly, Dan might have as much ink or close to as much ink as Teddy, which is wild in this matchup.
And we do see Under the Sea.
Under the Sea, which gets 2, which again, when you have this many characters, I'll take the 2 and I'll keep going. It is unfortunate. He only had, I think, 1 Lilo from the 7-card Tramp discard. So it was that same Lilo coming back out. Oh, and this is tough for Teddy.
Yeah, and we really just see right now dogs doing what dogs do best.
Yep. go wide, play our tramps, sing our Under the Seas. Now, Cheshire Cat, that
Cheshire
can be
Cat
helpful.
is very, very helpful in this matchup. I think Teddy probably wanted to see that significantly earlier.
Yeah. And I know he had a bad hand because he inked it so early and then still just got stuck. I mean, it's a tough game when your deck doesn't give you the ink. It's kind of, there's not a lot to say. It just didn't do what it needed to do, couldn't keep pace, and now this is the board state.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a bit of a bummer because I think Teddy started off pretty strong with being able to ramp with a Tipo and have Basil on board. Just getting those characters out in the early game are always really helpful, but then it seemed like we got a little stuck in our hand with uninkables, so not able to match pace with the dogs board.
And I think here they're just trying. Yeah, I agree 100%. And if you can't match pace or keep some of these things off the table, it's going to be tough. And I think he's just doing the math here. He has to take out a lot. And he had initially, Teddy had initially targeted the tramp, but I think Dan politely did some math and said, I will have win if that is our plan. And so he kind of redid that. But Danny's going to go to 19 and play the Lilo. And now it really is a tough race to get rid of everything on board.
Yeah, and I think right now, Dan's just going to quest out and say, hey, figure out how to deal with this.
Yeah, it's not my problem anymore, actually. You have to do the math. I'm just going to quest, and you tell me what the answer is. and
right now...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Right now, it's just really tough with those tramps out there because those are such big bodies, and none of these characters really hit hard enough to manage them.
And it is interesting. I don't think we've seen a second Hades, so I don't know if he has it in his hand. So I'm not sure what was stuck in his hand when he had two cards that seemed to be uninkable.
Maybe it was the genie as well.
Maybe
so the Hades and genie.
That could be. Yeah, and I will say, I do always give people credit. We have players like this on our team where they will keep playing as long as it's reasonable on the time. They'll keep playing the game, and sometimes they do pull out the win. Like they will just keep someone on the lowest, the highest amount of lore for like 5 turns. So I do want to just give Teddy some kudos for doing his best here.
Yeah, and I think it's also one of those. This is obviously one of Blurple's harder matchups. So working through some of the lines and thinking outside the box, even though you probably can't manage it. And Teddy was definitely timely on managing that and playing it out. So
especially when you're playing dogs, you're like, I have time.
Yes, exactly.
We're not in control v control. We're gonna be done in 30 minutes. Dan's got to feel good though going into that. Team won the first round and then he won his on the draw. So
yeah,
feels good as a dogs player going into Blurple on the draw.
Absolutely, it does, and definitely feels good to know that your teammate won their first match. So I'm like, okay. I hate going first though. It is very nerve-wracking. Like, please don't look at me. No, don't join the chat. Don't comment. Don't say anything, and talk to me tomorrow morning. Yeah, sometimes it is definitely nerve-wracking when you're the first player going for the ICL for your team. I know my team is not playing this season, but we played last season, and somehow I feel like I always manage to pull the wrong straw and have my worst matchup in my ICL games. And that was The Incredibles. So we're very
Nice.
excited for The Incredibles to finally be in
I'm
Lorcana this
excited,
next
and
set.
a great name. You shared that with me earlier. An incredible name, may one say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you all Incredible fans? Are you excited for the new stuff?
We are all very excited, though. I have to say, personally, I am more excited for Brave to enter the Lorcana realm.
Yes. Is it the first? There's been other Brave cards, no? Yes?
No, so Brave is
Really?
actually, this is where I can be a nerdy Disney
I love
adult.
this.
Brave is actually both a Disney and Pixar movie, so it needed to wait for Pixar.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. I did not know that. I guess I just think of her as a princess, and so
yes,
just kind
she
of
is still a Disney princess.
She is.
But yes, she is a
Yes.
Pixar movie as well. And we see Teddy
Wow.
with his Basil turn 1.
Yes, that is such a fun fact. I'm going to use that later. Incredible. And then this, okay, so we have the same game again. It is
Same game.
yeah, Ink Basil, Ink Bobby, discard a Willa. We may be in the same game again. Oh, this time it's a Rhino.
We're going to yeah. So not getting necessarily the best discard there. As a dog player, when you're playing that Bobby, you're really wanting to see a Lilo in hand. So you can start deciding if you want to bring her out as early as you want.
Yes. And we do see the sail go down, so we do have ramp, which I always get nervous on turn 2. I want to make sure my Blurple players have their ramp unless I'm playing them, and then please miss your ramp every time. But that at least means we have a good game happening. Ooh, and we do see an ink for the Ursula, and we are going to get a Let It Go, which must feel nice.
Definitely feels nice on the dog side. Not so great if you are Teddy, because now you are a card down and need to keep ramping.
Now we do see we have the Dumbo, which is nice. That's going to be able to refill our hand, and that's not going to be able to leave play for a little bit. Knowing what dogs likely has, and then also an Elsa to follow up, so it can take something out, but then can potentially also start refilling
Absolutely.
Teddy's hand, so he hopefully will definitely not get stuck with some uninkable Hades in his hand this time.
That's what we can hope. So it is definitely good to see Dumbo come out this turn for Teddy. Hopefully he can keep filling his hand, but seeing that Chromacon come down.
Chromacon.
Early game. I think this is exactly what Dan wants to see now that he sees Teddy being able to establish a board, get that Dumbo out, get that draw power. But
get rid of the Let It Go.
It will be a little harder to clear Dan's board now because he also gets to start returning cards to hand on Teddy's side or even his own side.
Yeah, and we do see Teddy end up using Dumbo's effect, getting the lore, getting the card, and then playing a Genie, which I do really like because now you have a card where, again, if it does get potentially bounce back, it is also more card draw in the future, and also is starting to put a lot of pressure because yes, the Chromacon is great, but you did not play a character that round, and so Teddy has a lot of, he can get up to 4 lore, get 4 lore in one turn and go up to 6 and start to put a lot of pressure.
Absolutely. So with this board state, Dan is going to be on the hunt for that Under the Sea combo as quickly as possible to make sure that he can manage Teddy's side of the board. And with that Under the Sea, he's going to also try to hopefully grab something that can handle Dumbo as well, because with that 3 willpower, makes it a little hard to clear with the Under the Sea.
Yep. And we do see Nani go down, and he is searching, potentially, I'm not sure what he's would be searching for in this situation that he could draw that's a 1 or a 2.
I think we haven't seen a Willow yet.
Yeah.
So a Willow would be great, would help get out some cards earlier. But Lilo also a great card to pick up from the Nani and very thematic.
Yep. And then the Ursula is going to be able to take out this Basil, still stick around, and you really don't want to be challenging because of the Chromacon, and you don't want to be challenging into a Ursula that has 1 damage needed. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And with this Chromacon, you might as well start questing some of these pieces.
And Dan taking that note, since we've used Ursula to take out the Basil, questing with one of the Bobbies, because essentially here's 2 targets. If you want to take them out, you can, but also then allows him to bounce one of his own cards or bounce one of Teddy's cards back to hand.
Yep. And also it's getting rid of that Basil is always great, because the Basil Elsa combo is a thing of nightmares. Just makes so many trades so good, and then the Cheshire Cat comes down, and then the Elsa sticks around. So I definitely understand why he's like, yeah, you know what? You're trying to get ahead of me? I will take that out. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely a painful combo to see keep popping off. And knowing that Elsa was in hand, he knows that that is a possibility to be coming down very soon. So definitely a smart move to get rid of that.
And we do
and here we see it.
Yep. And we see the Bobby go down and did do the Chromacon math, made sure that did all of the actions with the characters before challenging and vanishing, and then waiting for whatever returns to hand, and that Dumbo does go back into hand, which makes a lot of sense.
Yep. The other thing that I always make sure when I'm playing into a Chromacon is not only making sure that I've done the math beforehand, I've done what I want to that turn, but if I do have quite a bit of ink, I like to handle whatever character I want to handle first in the turn versus last, to be able to kind of decide after that character gets bounced what I want to do next. Maybe I want to play it back out. Maybe want to play something completely different and ink that card that gets bounced back to hands. Or if my opponent bounces a card, definitely allows you to kind of think through that next strategy. And we do see the big tramp come down here.
And 2 Lilos into the discard, which we love to see. I think he already had one in hand and found another, so much better than his last tramp. But yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying about the Chromacon. I think that's why it's such a good card. It changes the way people have to play the game. I think a lot of people, they ink, they play their characters, they look at the board state, they figure out what they want to challenge or if they want to quest, and then they pass. And Chromacon really makes you kind of do that almost in an inverse way and say, what do I want to get rid of? What is the board state? And even just breaking up people's way of thinking about the game can lead you to advantages. So I think it's a really dangerous card.
Yeah, absolutely. I always, I feel like that card, along with any card that changes the math, always leads to an adventure.
Snow Fort.
Yes.
Don't talk to me about Snow Fort. And this poor Teddy has to do so much math. He's doing Chromacon math, and then also with dogs, you constantly have to be doing Under the Sea Sing Together math. So I'm like 2 + 1 + 3 + 1. So even if we get this tramp off the board, are we gonna still be able to sing Under the Sea? That's the constant question. So that just makes you do too much math. Too much for me. And he does have enough ink for potentially a Hades. Also a lot of things exerted for, which is nice, for an Into the Unknown, which is nice because that does get around the Chromacon.
Yeah, and I think right now we're trying to decide what our best playline is.
And he says, nope, remember my rhino. And Teddy went, oh man, you're right. Sorry, I had to interrupt you though. What were you saying?
No, I was trying to identify what we did here, and it looks like we put 1 damage onto the Nani, and now we're going to use that Cheshire Cat to banish, I would guess, the Nani, but
I
we
would
will
guess
see here.
so.
Yep.
That makes sense. Something is going to get bounced. This is a nice kind of question, though, back to Dan, because he can bounce the Cheshire Cat, but that is some more cards into Teddy's hand. Or he can bounce one of the other 2 characters, but those can be taken with Under the Sea, which I would hope that Dan has in his hand. So I think it's an interesting consideration. Or he can bounce his own card if he doesn't.
And that was what I was gonna
Yep.
say. I think this is one of those scenarios where it's more likely we're bouncing our own character, and Bobby is a great choice there because it allows us to filter a little bit through our deck if we don't have the cards we want to play.
And that is why Chromacon is so good. Your cards, their cards, your mother's cards, doesn't matter. They're going back to your hand. And I think just thinking through his last little bit of ink, last few cards, 2 cards in hand. And it is tough. I mean, you have to continue to play things down to put on pressure because you also know these Lilos are coming out. But you also know that Under the Sea, the song is available. And sometimes you just have to say, do you have it? Oh, and
yeah, and I think we might have it here, judging by our first play of the hand.
Which is singing the lullaby and then having enough. And it's so unfortunate. If he had had a Hades, if he had got to keep his Let It Go, he could have gotten that tramp off the board.
Yep, and getting down another Chromacon here really puts Dan in just an unbelievable position.
It's so mean.
For the rest. It is. I think this is one of those positions where we have a love-hate relationship, and I'm sure chat is saying a hate-hate relationship with dogs.
It's so because I still do stand by my feelings about Blurple, but I do feel for Teddy. It is tough. It is tough to just, get dog walked, honestly.
Yeah. And luckily, Teddy did have an Into the Unknown, so able to get that tramp off the board, get Dumbo back down. And so he has a way to draw cards. He is at 7 lore. Dan is only at 3. So this isn't completely a lost situation. But it's definitely it's definitely a hard one because handling Dan's board with 2 Chromacons is just really going to be tough. Maybe we've teched in some wasabis.
I was just going to say.
And we haven't seen them yet.
But I feel like Dogs has kind of moved away from some of the Chromacon builds and some of the items. Though maybe I know Snowfort was showing up, and Snowfort is also one of those items that you're just like, please just get off. I want to get you off the board. So maybe there is a wasabi, but instead we see a genie, which is nice. Keep digging, and a Tipo, which is not so nice.
Not so nice.
Not what you want to see.
Tipo is definitely not what we want to see here. Getting that Lilo back out from our discard. So we now have 2 Lilos on the board that Teddy needs to manage. I think we're getting to the point of no return on Dan's side. Do we maybe have another?
Do we have another one?
Under the Sea?
No. Don't do it to him. Please don't. Let the man breathe.
We'll get another.
Play the Rhino, sure. Why wouldn't you?
And then I think we're just gonna quest. Luckily, we did not see another. But that lullaby still gives that strength decrease till the next till the start of your turn. So through this whole turn, Dumbo is now a 2/3, and we're going to scoop there, and that's a fair decision.
That's very fair. I mean, Blurple is a great deck, top tier 1 deck. Dogs is a top tier 1 deck, and sometimes it's a rock, paper, scissors day, and both played very well, but sometimes you just don't get your matchup.
And we have Dan showing off that Elsa mat. So not
Yeah.
flexing at all.
No flexes in the house. No flexes. Hey, if you got it though,
Yeah,
kinda
you
gotta
might
play
as
it.
well
Might
play
as
with
well play with it. Yeah, I do respect people who they take their stuff out, they use it, not necessarily trying to sell it or do stuff. You gotta use what you got.
I respect both. I understand selling it. Some cash money is
I mean,
always
yeah.
good.
You know
It
what? To be
funds
fair,
the card addiction.
yeah,
and the
I
trap.
am poor. I say that I'm like I would be sold the way it would be sold in 2 minutes.
But I also love getting to see them played. I know
Yes,
I am
they're-
notorious for playing shiny decks. So
And they're beautiful, beautiful cards, beautiful mats. All right, we got I think Dan coming in for an interview.
well, hello, Dan. You did the mean dog things today.
Hi,
That was
friends. How are we
Hello.
doing?
We're
Good.
doing
How
well.
are you?
I can't complain. It's a fun Wednesday night. You know, we're playing some ICL. Always a fun time.
Got a 2-0.
Did get a 2-0. It's really funny. Franz is for people that might not believe this, nicest guy in the world, but he's a mean captain. All right. We're not allowed to play fun decks, and now it only proves even further is that every time I played dogs in the ICL, I've won, and any times I've played anything other than dogs, I've lost. He's
So
never
you're
gonna let
only
me
allowed
play. It's
Anything
No.
else?
I'm just
Well,
never gonna be
luckily-
allowed.
Luckily, new sets coming out.
True.
You know?
That's
Maybe dogs will
probably
be bad.
not for core though. I think it's still really good for core.
Yeah.
Let people dream for like 1 minute that something's gonna change.
That's fair. That's fine. It'll change, guys.
It'll change. It'll change for sure. Don't play dogs.
It'll change.
What
did-
card are you probably most excited for set 12 to tuck into the dogs deck?
Definitely the new Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
The 4-cost inkable,
nasty.
2 lore, 2/3, and then while as exert it, whenever a character quests, they -2 to something. That card wasn't built for Under the Sea and dogs.
Yeah,
I don't
what
know
was it
what
built
card
for?
was.
I would have to
Someone-
agree with that.
Yeah, and starts exerted is
Yeah,
so
I mean, listen,
disrespectful.
There's already players that have played Scrump, you know, like they've
Yeah.
played Scrump, and this is on a body with lore, and it's like immediate, and you get to gain lore. I mean, that card is insane.
Yeah. Someone woke up and said, "You know what deck I really love?" Sometimes you can see cards where you're like, "So someone in Ravensburg really loves this," and you know what decks they don't love? Ruby decks.
No, that's not true. That's not true. For 8 sets, Ruby dominated. All right, that's not true.
8 sets.
Yeah, sets 1 through 8.
4.
Sets 1 through 8. Ruby was great. It was golden. People
bring us back to
forget.
set
It's
1,
been a
Ruby
year and people
Am.
forget, but it's been good. All right, it had its
I,
time.
I do not forget when Ruby was good.
Hashtag
As a
gone,
Steel Song player, I do not.
gone but never forgotten. All right,
Never forgotten. Never.
So how you guys having fun tonight?
Well, yeah, we're having a great time. I was gonna ask you. We appreciated your Clarabelle tech in that 3-drop. Do you want to talk about? That's different, new, unique.
So
What's
I
the thought?
That was pretty good. Full shout out to this particular deck list. This is Alphos's deck list from the top 8 in Brazil this past weekend. I just trust
Nice.
I trust Alphys is correct. I sleeved his deck. I lied. I called Melissa and I said, "Hey Melissa, I want to borrow the shiny toy dogs tonight because I'm playing on the game." And Melissa built Alphos's list, but huge shout out to Alphys and shout out to Liz. But I am a big Clarabelle fan. In my list through most of core, I was actually playing a 2-2 split with Nani and Clarabelle because it just means that you have the most versatility. It rewards play, draw, disparity. A lot of the times the Clarabelle is way worse going second. So when you're going second, you're almost always inking it and then rather play the Nani. But going first, sometimes playing the Clarabelle before the Nani is really helpful. Specifically, if you really start doing the math and you're like, hey, I haven't, I kind of need X and I don't want to go through Y. So I really like the versatility of just the 3-drop slots. The same thing with the Lady 3. I didn't play it, I think, in either game, but it just adds another layer of versatility to the deck of like when it's needed, you have different options at that 3 cost that in most cases cost 2 because of Willow. So
Right. Yeah, I really appreciate it because I think in the game that you were playing, we talked about it a little bit, but you ended up being able to play Tramp and still had that card in hand where if you had potentially had something else,
Yeah.
you would have been no cards in hand or had less board presence. So it just seemed to really work out.
Yeah,
And if
I'm a
you're
big
playing those Chromacons Under the Seas, like Nani's not going to get those for you.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate because very often I think a lot of dogs players falter when they play out their hand, and then when they draw their tramp, they just have nothing. Now in my
Yeah.
game one, I ended up just going tramp and tramp. Like I had a tramp in my hand. I drew the tramp off the top, so my hand was already tramp. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna play both these cards in play.
Yep.
Hopefully I hit some Lilos.
Hit 0,
Yeah.
which was
No,
wild.
you-
Yeah.
It's
Dropping
insane.
7 cards into the discard, no Lilos.
The funny thing was about it is that after it was all said and done, I also had not hit a Lady 5. So like we had 7 or 8 ink, and I'm like, you know what? Like I'm still in a great position here. There's plenty of good draws off the top. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I ended up
Yeah.
just being too wide for him there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you love to see Blurple.
I think Blurple is not as easy of a matchup. Honestly, taking 2 on the draw is probably, I would say, above average. I wouldn't say that you're going to do that too often. Game 2, I just think his hand. I think I got a little lucky by finding the Under the Sea on the turn that I did. He gave me the extra card with the Royal Guard, which was, basically before he played the Royal Guard, he gets, well, if you have it, you have it, and if you don't, I'm in a better position. And he's probably 100% correct that if I don't find it there,
but they
then
always have it. They
But we
always
just-
the dog
we just
players
have to have
always
it.
find it. They always same thing with, to be fair though, same thing with the Elsa's for Blurple. They always
True.
have it. You're like, if you have it, you have it, and they always
True.
have it. So
Yeah.
it's the way the game is.
All right.
Awesome.
Do
So
you have
any
any shout outs?
any shout outs?
100%. The Lazyboys representing tonight. Good start to our round 10 here, which is a lot of fun. Shout out to the Loungers in
Locked
general.
it in.
Good, yeah, good pickup for the win. Hopefully you guys get to see round 3 on stream still. I promise you that deck is the best deck. So we'll see if you guys get lucky, if they stay here or not. But definitely shout out to all the Landers. Shout out to Franz for letting me play tonight. And shout out to the wife as always, and shout out to Melissa for letting me borrow the stuff. Of course, Courtney. It's been too long since I've seen you, so shout out to you. I hope you had some fun casting tonight, guys.
It was a good
Very
time.
much did. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And thanks for the shout out. I stole your wife and Melissa a few weeks back, and I appreciated getting to steal them.
There you go. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thanks. Have a good night.
See ya.
And we are back in it. Ooh, a beautiful Tinkerbell mat. And actually, I don't know if this was done for me, but another Chicagoland team, Ink and Lore.
Ooh, I love that. And we've got Impact. So we'll see here. It looks like we're shuffling up for game 3, which we love to see.
Oh, I do like these sleeves on the Tinkerbell mat that matches her jacket. That is
It
so
does.
cute.
I have been pondering putting foil onto my Tinkerbell mat, and I'm very excited to try that out. But I feel like I need to test it on another mat before I do it on the Tinkerbell mat.
Yes. I do have a Cricut, and we have been discussing having a foiling night because those mats are gorgeous.
I can report back because that's what
Okay.
I have my own Cricut as well, and that's what I intended to use to.
That's what you're
foil.
supposed to. I think that's how they do that. I mean, maybe they have like more professional processes, but I have seen videos in which it is.
All right. So we see.
Lagged slightly for me.
Yeah, it lagged there for a second, but we've got. This is the stuff.
No, this is the Boost Flynn.
Oh, Boost Flynn. Thank you. I'm getting my
Boost
characters.
characters.
Sidemen.
Confused. And then, okay, this is fun. So we have what I'm gonna possibly guess is green purple boost, and then we have it into what I may guess is purple steel. With that
would be my guess.
Not Robin Hood. Oh
Yeah,
my god, Robin.
I started us. I sent us down the rabbit hole of wrong characters. So now we're just gonna say the wrong name of cards and have everybody on in chat guess what card.
Yes,
is actually
what
being
card
played.
it is actually. Anyone who's only audio is gonna be like, "What is this game? What are they playing?" And then into the Olaf, which I do love the Olaf, but every time I see the Olaf, it makes me miss Old Bounce. I miss my snakes, miss my foxes.
Yeah, it definitely is a card that is interesting to play, and you really want to manage it well because it can be really impactful mid to late game. Obviously good early game still to get some quests, but sometimes you want to keep that standing up.
And speaking
you don't lose it
of,
early. And
Yeah.
speaking of, we said, no, I'm sorry. We don't want that to be bouncing anything. And right now it's a pretty safe guess that we're not going to bounce anything back to our hand with only 2 characters on board.
And also he does not want his Flynn to be taken out either. So that Christopher Robin is not going to be able to trade into this Flynn. And I was wrong, a green steel. How exciting. How riveting.
I haven't seen green steel this set a ton, and I'm okay with that. No, I kid. I am mentally prepared for all the green steel that is about to come back, and honestly interested to see with the release of set 12 what will happen, because I think we'll see it even in core and not just in Infinity. And a Maui into the Inkwell there.
That
so
is
this
such
is
a fun
some spice.
Card. This is grade A spice. It's on fire. And I love that card. I know it has I don't know that it's very good, but I do love it. I think it's such an interesting card. And then on the other side, my dude, he's picking up his Flynn like
I love that. It's like, oh, I know this is gone, and we're gonna fling Elsa over there to take out that Flynn.
Yep, and it does look like on Ink and Lore that it is just a very classic purple steel. So has the underdog, has that Cheshire Cat, has the angel, has the Elsas.
Yeah, it does look like a pretty traditional list over there on the Amethyst Steel side. I will say I've been playing Amethyst Steel, and this list is pretty great with the Christopher Robins. I don't play any in my list, and I found it to be in my favor a bit. And we see bringing back strength.
So 2 things I was going to say. Unfortunately, Wait, what just happened? Did it change?
We did a little flip of the screen.
Unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, I don't know what's in Dan's hand, but unfortunately under the Flynn was the dock. So I don't know. I'm hoping he has other draw coming to him, but that is what I'm guessing his main draw power in green steel. And he plays the max goof, but then the Elsa comes down. I told you, Courtney, they always have it.
They always have Elsa. They do. Yeah.
They have it every time.
And we had to have had 2 in hand or picked one up in the draw, because we did get rid of one initially. And here, with 1 card in hand, now going to 2 cards in hand, we're going to ink and then
of course
play that Demona.
Why wouldn't they have the Demona as well?
Really strong play here from the Amethyst side, because Dan has 3 cards in hand. So for the
it's a free
Demona player,
it's
a free Demona. Basically, you get your hand back up to size. You can take that Maui out pretty cleanly, or you just say, I don't really care about that Maui.
Yeah. I mean, I think green steel, until they potentially get to Under the Sea, is very similar to Blurple, where if you go wide enough, it's going to be really hard for them to handle what's going on. I mean, this Maui is going to do something, but he can't even crash into anything that's going to take him out. And
and one thing to note, because many people may not be super familiar with this Maui. This Maui does have an effect on banish. So when this character is banished, you can put 2 damage counters on all opposing characters, or banish all opposing items, or banish all opposing locations. So we could be playing the Prince Philip likely in this build with those damage placement.
You know what? You make a great point.
There we go.
You see, yes. And that Benji, which Teddy would have loved to see in the last match against those Chroma Cats. But yes, you are right, actually. I forgot about the beautiful combo that came with that damage and then the Prince Philip. So that is a possibility, which is really what we want here. And luckily that Prince Philip has ward. And so as long as one of these two characters stays, or actually Prince Philip can sing Mean and Scary himself. That's the beautiful thing about him. And then he can shift. So hopefully those two cards in hand are Mean and Scary and Prince Philip.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what we see the Amethyst Steel player do on this turn, because questing, we go up to 17 here. And maybe we take out Benja with Angel, or moving some damage with Cheshire, and hold off on playing anything, because we have the possibility of that card, that big Prince Philip coming down.
It's also hard, and this is an interesting board state that Dan has, because you also don't necessarily, this Maui is questing for 3. You also don't necessarily want to take out the Maui, and that's kind of going to be pressure until the Prince Philip gets played, whether Dan has it or not. And so this Maui might get to quest for a while, and then are you going to want to quest and have the Maui be able to run into your Angel, your Cheshire Cat, or your Demona to put that damage on?
I think in this position at 12 lore, I think you want to make Dan run into you with the Maui. But to your point, if Dan has mean, malicious, mean, and scary,
yes,
he potentially doesn't need to run in that Maui and can just keep questing for 3 with him.
Yep. And I think this is exactly the conundrum. It's very hard. And it's tough too. There's a lot of cards in Lorcana where you're like, well, if you have it, you have it. Like, there's kind of nothing else to do. But this is really one of those spots where, like, you may be walking into a trap, but you also kind of have to keep putting on pressure. And so what do you do? Now, I do think, I'm not sure how many cards are in hand for Ink and Lore, but also, you know, going up to 17 lore to 4, not a bad turn.
I was like, feels okay. That's why my gut initially is to just go in there and quest and say, you deal with it.
Yeah, you decide.
You choose your own adventure now.
Yes, you tell me what kind of Lorcana we're playing, because I'm playing the quest Lorcana, where I turn sideways. And you play your combo game over there.
Because to your point, like, he does need to have the combo to make that happen. Obviously, if he doesn't, his option is he has to banish that Maui, which means he's not questing for 3 this turn with Maui. And that doesn't feel too bad.
Yep. And we see, I think Elsa is debating singing something, strength, on the Maui.
On the Maui, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so that damage is going to come out. I'm assuming that some of this damage is going to be moved by the Cheshire Cat off one of these characters that potentially he wants to save in case he only has the Prince Philip and not the Mean and Scary. And then another.
We see 2 here. So
I actually really like this. So he is going to be able to, again, move 2 sets of damage off, 2 characters that he cares about, put it on the Benja. So he's saving the Demona, which makes sense. And then my guess would be either a Cheshire Cat or the Angel.
I think here we probably want to save the Cheshire Cat, just because we also have boosted it a few times.
True.
And potentially could bounce it back to hand. but it looks like we're going to favor that Angel, which is also, I think,
Also fair if you
equally
have
as
maybe
strong.
also if you maybe have a Demona in hand or something where you don't have enough ink to play out everything, but you could do some discarding and get some benefit off getting rid of cards and then playing your Demona down. But I think that was a really clean play.
There you go. And yep. So we didn't have Malicious, Mean, and Scary, but we did have the big Prince Philip, which really helpful here. So we're going to be able to clear 2 characters off the board, and then we'll see. We're going to take the Demona.
But I do think played very well with those double Cheshire Cats to clean up that damage so nicely to save. I mean, those 2 characters would have potentially been gone.
Yeah, and to that point, really strong here that you kind of put Dan in the position that he had to take out that Demona, which makes that Prince Philip not so scary.
Yep, because then you get that strength. I mean, you could have strengthed it, could have discarded the strength, and done the angel damage. There were options available, and then you really don't want to see this genie with nothing on board that is already boosted once. And I think he's gonna pack it up.
Yep,
here.
and we said we'll pack it up, and Dan calls it a day. But really interesting build from Dan's side. It was cool to see the steel emerald combo there. I haven't seen a ton of it because I think obviously there are just a little bit more consistent builds for that Prince Philip combo in the Sapphire Emerald build right now, but still definitely a strong matchup. And having that Maui is a fun way to have both the Maui banish ability or singing that Malicious, Mean, and Scary.
Yes, the extra, and you even saw again, Ink and Lore had to think a little bit about what they were going to do, how they were going to get around it, and if you're not playing into someone who has 2 Cheshire Cats on board and enough ink to boost both of them, you're going to get a lot more off that, even if you don't find your combo. So I agree, it's maybe not as consistent as some of the core decks right now, but might be something to think about for Infinity if people are playing.
Yeah, for Infinity, there are quite a few things coming back for the toolbox for that Emerald Steel build, but I think this one was fun to see, and it'll be interesting to see this next set in core what happens with the Emerald Steel build as well, and if we see it a little more commonly.
And I think it's also one thing I am excited about for Infinity is that people are going to be rereading cards to the discussion we had earlier. And I think that means that sometimes cards may be coming into core that people are like, wait a minute, this was not great when it came out because there was just nothing to combo it with or it just didn't work. But maybe now that we have some other tools in our toolkit, this is actually something that does make sense to tech in. So obviously a bunch in Infinity will be coming, but I'm interested also to see how some of the Infinity, just rereading cards, relooking at cards, looking at new combos is going to spice up core.
Yeah, it will be interesting as sort of competitive play shifts into the Infinity space, what we see happen there and how many decks we see move up to that S tier spot or shift around, because I'm interested. I feel like when I go to Indy, I'm going to play a ton of Lorcana and play into completely different decks every round. And that for me would be the best Lorcana experience. The worst would be me playing into item build after item build. That would make me really sad.
Yeah, I did play that. I played into last ICL match for Infinity. Green, blue, emerald, sapphire item build, and
that's real mean. It's real mean.
Yeah, it's okay. I was playing hyper aggro. I did have 4 characters on board round 2, so it was fine.
Then you're quite all right.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, this is a thing. I forgot how mean this was. I mean, game 2, it was just, I think he had 20 items on board. I was like, okay, we can. You don't have to keep turning, and we can go next.
For your hyper aggro build, what were you playing?
So it was Amber Steel.
Okay.
I think that's a classic hyper aggro, but going Aurora into a princess, into Willow, into another 1-drop, it does
That
make
feels
people
real good.
sweat. It feels really good. It feels really good. So yeah, recommend. It's on the ICL somewhere. Shout out to my friend Justine over in the Chicagoland area. I used to be on BSG. He gave me the spice, so the deck is called Justine Spice. I just piloted.
I love that. The deck that I have been playing is actually from the Inkfinity team. They had a really great run at CCS down here in Houston.
Yeah.
And was able to pick that up and run with it. And that's what I won my Tink bet with.
What is it that you're playing?
It's an Amethyst Steel list, and I named it "In Kristen We Trust."
I love that.
She managed to win the ladies tournament with it as well. So I was a big fan of it, and it has played and served me very well. And I'm excited to roll into set 12 and see what we can cook up with it for core. And then I don't know what I'm going to play for Infinity. I've been testing out Steel Song because that is my first love.
Steel Song?
But
I've been playing Steel Song at locals. I'm happy to send you some stuff off stream. It's been feeling pretty nice. Not gonna lie, it's been feeling nice.
Pretty great. I would agree. And I've been testing with Dale, and that's been a blast.
Yeah.
But I am waiting. I still have to test into quite a bit with it and see how it stands.
I will say having 2 boosted aerials and singing a song and drawing 2 is probably some of the best Lorcana that I've played in a long time. And just watching people just be so upset with how much more card advantage you have. So,
well, hello there, Luke.
Hello.
Hello. Just don't mind me. Don't mind me.
What are you playing? What have you been playing?
I played a bit of Amber Steel. But I popped in here to move us to the next match to let Courtney go, so she can go start her show up, and we'll probably be raiding that after this round, if they're still
wonderful.
On. Stay up late.
We probably
for us.
will be.
We'll
be up late.
You and your sister.
Yes.
Yep, your sister Bree.
Well, it was a blast casting, and have fun in round 3.
Thank you so much, Courtney. This was so fun.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Oh, I love these sleeves.
Yeah, little llamas in jars. So
those are cute.
Llama boys in jars, I guess you might.
And then is this a Yu-Gi-Oh mat on the other side?
Yes, I think that's a jar of greed.
I think that's a jar of greed, and then the little lamb things. And so this,
right?
Yes, they are very cute. I never played Yu-Gi-Oh, but they're very cute. And I think this game is just for fun at this point. The Lazyboys have taken it for rankings for rank.
I was gonna say you're in the league. You understand.
I know.
It matters.
I know. It does
tie
matter. You're right.
And honestly, right now, there's a lot of teams like up there tied.
Interesting. I don't pay attention to Wednesdays.
And the first tiebreaker is victories against tied opponents, and I think all 3 of them have won against one other person in there, so that's tied. So then it goes to like total games and such.
Okay, so this matters.
Yep. And we're watching this. We didn't need to. I normally swap to another one, but when you see what Christian's playing, when you see what Christian's playing,
I'm excited for this. I think we did play something similar this week as yesterday, and we lost. So hopefully Kristen does a little bit better than we did this week.
I didn't actually look to see the exact details, but after Justin's performance yesterday, there's no way I'm not going to put it on stream again.
You got it.
Which once used to haunt my dreams, now is a delightful treat from the norm.
And actually, this is interesting. So we see Christian ink the Pete, the big Pete that not many people are playing.
I did actually see that. That was like the only card in the spreadsheet I could see. It was like the top card, and I was like, I don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do. And it looks like we're going into. I did not watch what Friendly Neighborhood inked, but we do have a Willow on board and nothing else. But this is gonna be tough going into. It's Liquefier, right? Liquefier.
I think it's Liquidator.
Liquidator.
The Liquidator.
Liquidator. Yes.
Ooh,
What
we
is-
got
Oh!
Steel. is the
Wait!
other color with,
Oh, I'm so excited now. Wait.
yeah. This is what I was playing as Set Champs. The deck is super fun
Yes.
to play.
Super fun.
I just had to be away from a whole new world for a while before I could enjoy it again.
Yes, I do agree. Yes. And it is fun to play when you're not playing into a billion Steel Song mirrors as well. That is the other thing that is very fun with playing it now. So you get to play into some Blurple, some dogs, and it just feels a lot better than when you would just be like, whole new world, steel, strength, and you're like, what are we even doing here? So, and then on Christian's side, we do see Classic. Classic for any blue deck. Cindy on 4, going to 5.
You mean
Filtering our
Cindy on
deck.
3?
Cindy on 3. 4 ink, turn 3, you're right.
Yeah.
Huh.
You're just like, yeah, I've had 4 turns,
Embarrassing.
I have 4 ink. How would I not? It's like, oh yeah, Sail. That's crazy.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes. So do you think they're going to give us, and another Willow?
I
Which
hope
isn't-
not. I already know
I
what
didn't
you're
even-
gonna ask. I like
Turn 2
one
ramp?
jump ahead
Who?
only, please. Get that Tifo out of here.
No!
Get that
Okay.
Sail out of here.
What
Play
about
your Mickey
one?
Mouse Detective
One?
uninkable.
Ugh,
Like your ramp should
no.
not be inkable on turn 2.
Ugh.
Willow, that's fine. She doesn't really do much in the late game, right?
That's
Sail
fair.
in the late game draws a new card.
Sail, I
before
think,
you ink
okay,
it.
I agree. I think Sail needs, 3 Willows.
Yeah.
That
If these were
was wild
Sails,
to watch.
they'd be in the inkwell.
That's true. That is, okay,
Maybe.
I do think, what about an uninkable Sail?
Oh, that's a Beyond the Horizon.
That was,
An
I did see
uninkable
that.
Sail, I think, is fair.
Okay. And then we sang the Accued, and then we draw 2, one for the, this is my favorite thing to do with Ariel. One thing for the song, and then one for Ariel's effect. And going to play something down.
Is there a card underneath this aerial?
Yes, I thought he played a Willow and boosted. Is there? We were chatting about uninkable Sails, and I honestly don't know. I apologize.
Oh, there comes Chief
Yep.
defending all of these Willows.
And then the Willows, I'm assuming, are going to be able. Now, did he?
It does look like there's a card underneath that area.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yes, because he had a Willow, so he played a Willow for 1. He played another Willow for 1. He boosted for 1. And then he sang.
And then
played.
Chief.
Yes, the math is mathing.
Willow
And honestly-
is difficult to deal with sometimes. Look at
Yes.
this. Oh,
The
wow.
Wow. That was not what I expected. Pete and boost the Pete.
I mean, if you're like Reckless is gonna force the Liquidator in,
That's true.
and you might as well get rid of it and save yourself a lore. You're
Yep.
gonna have to send something into it, and now
And if
Pete
you're gonna play the
is
Pete-
terrifying.
Yeah, you don't need the Cindy effect if you're gonna play down the Pete and then boost him. Now this Pluto does give me nightmares. Not right now, because there's not a lot of steel on the board, but
There's none.
it is. There's none. To be fair, there's none. Oh,
This is
tough.
not impactful to Christian, but is drawing Blazing 3 cards.
4 cards.
4. And
3,
we do
and
take
then
for
the
the
effect.
reset. Like, you do have to assume that the 3 cards in hand were good, or we would have inked
Yep.
them otherwise.
Agreed.
So you're still going to hit them because you want them
I'd
to
rather you-
refresh, but
Draw 3 T-Pos, then keep your Hades that you're going to be able to play soon.
exactly. Now, if you have terrible luck like me, you do this and they reveal 3 T-Pos. and then they play like amazing
Fire.
cards.
The
turn
best
after
cards
turn
they
after
have.
turn. Yeah, back and back. Oh.
Now,
And then
I'm not counting
traumatized.
Christian out, though. He does have, and honestly, the nice thing about Spicy Ducks is they make me take out my Lorcana flashcards because I don't remember these songs. There is the song that gets rid of 2 things that have under 2 willpower. There's some other removal
Grab your
that maybe
bow.
he's... Yes.
We need to
Maybe he is
see
playing.
Wreck-It Ralph and Lonely Grave at
Yes,
the
we
moment.
do. Yeah. There is also Wreck-It Ralph. There's just also a song you can banish one of your own characters. Another option if you don't have Lonely Grave.
And then you can take
there's
out their lone
options.
character that survives through the Wreck-It Ralph trigger as well.
Yes,
Which would be this
yes.
gigantic Pluto, which you
Which-
also... I can't remember if Pluto triggers on himself.
I don't think he does, to be honest. But
does
I
say
have
other.
lost games to a mountain of steel characters just challenging away for lore, and so we are gonna let it go, which makes perfect sense to me. And then
This is not a bad spot for Christian to be in. Like,
No.
Blazing only has 3 cards. Sure, we have the Willow, but he's only at 2 lore, and that's the big thing.
Yep. I was just gonna raise the same thing. Christian's not that far behind, and these Willows, he's gonna have ways to take them out, and he got rid of a lot of the dangerous characters on board really cleanly. Got to keep his Pete, which you're gonna have to hard cast a song potentially, or run in a lot of Willows. And the Ariel is back for 1. She costs 1 with 3 Willows.
At least Blazin has to be happy to know that this Pete's not activating, and it's pretty good ability here. We
Yes.
don't... Like, Blazin does not want to see Christian looking at the top card for each boosted to snag something to set him back. But if Christian's questing, then Blazin is keeping an extra character around most of the time, as he exerts everything to jump up
Yep.
in lore a bit to try to
Well, we
end
do
this
have another
game.
chief bodyguard going down, which honestly, with 1 character on board, you're going to trade into this, and then he has so many characters and 3 cards. This is definitely looking tougher and tougher for Christian.
Yeah, we need Hades or a Let It Go for this chief, so then we can take out another character here. It might even... We need to, like, sing Let It Go on Lilo and then play
Yes.
a Hades. Like, these are
Yes.
the ways for Christian to stabilize, and it requires more of what he's already tried to do. And I think he discarded 1 Hades, possibly.
He did at least 1. And these cards might be not 2 typos, something that's okay, but not great, because he's really thinking about what he wants to do this turn. I do think... I can't tell if he inked. He might be able to ink and do exactly what you said, sing and play a Hades, and leave 3 Willows and a Ariel. I mean, also it's tough. Do you keep the Ariel on board, or do you keep the Lilo? I don't know.
I think we have to get rid of the recurring threat and then just assume that we can send one of our characters into the Ariel. We might have to... Like, we could also just play 2 Let It Goes, so it kind of opens up a few more cards, but if we have double Hades, we can't do it. And we just quest to look for cards, so I think we're in a desperation spot here.
And we didn't even boost again on the Pete, so... Oh, that's not bad.
It at least slows some lore gain down. I don't know if I would have gone for Lilo or not. It's kind of awkward to do. The Lilo is going to gain that 2 lore, but then if you answer the Lilo the next turn, then it's equalized by the amount of turns that the Willow might have survived, and it's like, it's way too much math for me.
Yes, it's a tough choice, but I do understand also with 3 cards in hand, getting rid of some of those Willows might be well worth it. And now, what is this that we've played? This is the spice right here. This is Bobby, not Bobby. Brom Bones.
I was like, I can't read that.
Brom Bones, my favorite guy.
Early bowling.
My favorite guy. Classic Brom Bones. And what does he do?
Whenever this character challenges a character with 2 or less strength, each opponent loses 1 lore. So
Wow.
we have an
Now, wait a
answer
minute.
here. It does double duty, but the strength.
Nope, we don't have an answer. Unfortunately, they always have the strength. They always have the
Just-
Elsa. They always have the Demona. They always have the Hades. They always have the strength.
Brom Bones just doesn't have the bones to deal with this, but maybe Pete's gonna take one for the team as he does.
That is an interesting choice.
The card
And a
advantage.
Tipo under the Pete is so nice to see. I will say that. Unless we have another song potentially. Oh, and 2 troubadours
and then a dock.
and a dock, no effect.
And
So
then
I'm
another
assuming
dock.
dock effect. Classic move. That is the one
That is 4
unfortunate thing about Ariel is that you do end up drawing a lot of docks off these songs. And going, I think, to 10, 12? Yeah.
This is pretty scary for Christian. That is 9 characters in play. And
Big
Be
Sisu?
Prepared doesn't exist. I feel like we are a spooky site or lose the game. Spooky
Yes.
site allows
Ralph?
us not to lose. We can eat the aerial, drain some lore, or trade with Chief. Either way, that would put Blazin only able to gain 2 lore, but this is 2 days in a row that I'm just like, spooky site could be good here.
Could be good. It is
Probably
hard,
won't
though.
be, but could be.
The only hard part with Spooky Sight, I will say, played a couple games where people cited me, and I was able to get an aerial and a song and just play so much stuff. I was like, I'll take the ink, honestly.
Well,
But
I mean, that is the downside to it. A lot of people have said that, but it's like you'd lose otherwise anyways. So maybe there's a
I'm not
chance,
disagreeing. Yeah. It can save you games. It's just
but
the tough thing about blue is, or sapphire is, giving people all that ink. I don't think
Is-
Christian has anything in hand.
it's just massively terrible when you spooky site and then they play Demona and then they can play
Yeah.
everything, or you
Yep.
spooky site and you go
Yes.
dock into dock into dock.
Yeah.
Those are really
Those are the tough
bad-
days.
the tough times.
Yeah. I have done it to people before, and it feels wonderful. All right. Well, I love what Christian's playing, and I'm sad it did not do what he needed to do. Honestly, I think it was the 3 willows that really just let Blazin go out of control.
Yeah, it just, unlike Sail, they quest for 1.
See, so you're saying Sail is balanced. So we've come back around.
No,
Keep Sail in the game.
maybe Willow's just too dang good, but like Willow, I would much rather play in a world where Willows are played over Sails. I
Well,
prefer
Spooky
to play.
Sight does hit willows, notably,
Exactly.
so maybe that's
It
why.
replaces Willows of sorts, but it takes away the willow. I like
That's
to
true.
play interactive actions. I like to sing damage
That's
spells
fair.
on characters, so I
That's
prefer
fair.
my opponents to have characters in play.
That's fair. I
Sail doesn't
do
that.
agree with that. I do agree with that. I do hate playing Seal Song, and there's nothing to hit with my strength. I'm like, man, what are we doing here?
As long as it's not 3 strengths, and then you don't have characters, and you're losing to locations or
Yeah.
something. But
Oh, don't bring up locations. I did lose. I was seat 1 at set champs and lost to at purple steel locations, and I will never emotionally recover.
locations do nothing or they do everything, but
Yep.
rarely are they fair and in between.
Exactly. I agree with that. I need that tattooed somewhere. So when I play any location decks. And they're only getting more stuff this set. They're getting the song
They
that
might
lets
be
you
good
draw
again.
cards. They might be good. They might be really good.
Location, if they go after those, that's a whole turn of them not questing, and then you play Raging Storm. So either playing Raging Storm and then winning off your locations, or you're playing Raging Storm and you have 2 locations and they're at like 18, but then you have 4 lore every turn.
Yep. Yeah. And they I'm really interested in that Steel song that when you move to a location, you get its lore in cards.
Yeah. Touch the Sky.
Yes.
Amazing enchanted art.
Beautiful card.
I mean,
Beautiful card.
I'm greedy. I hope when I open my box, I open Iconic. I hope I open the Merida Iconic, the Merida Enchanted,
Also,
and
beautiful card.
I can't remember the name of the best, the prettiest art Enchanted in the set. Also
Jessie?
done by the same artist of Look at the Sky, I do believe. I talked about the Jessie. It's very cowboy themed, and that's just not for me.
Not for you? Okay. What is the other card you're thinking of? Milo? Buzz?
It is an action.
Oh, it's an action. Okay.
With Isabel on it.
Oh, yes.
It's
yes.
Costs
This-
5. I remember exactly
yes.
what it does. I cannot
Oh,
remember the
and
name of it.
it is the song that she sings too.
Yes.
I'm forgetting. This is embarrassing. Let's move on. But yes, that is some of the most gorgeous art I've ever seen. I saw that card and I was so impressed. I was like, I want that. I don't necessarily want to play it, but it's beautiful. And in the game here, so we do see a classic setup. We see Develop Your Brain. We see a Sail. We see a Cindy. And we see a Troubadour on the other side. I mean, what else is this
Cindy's
but
not a
classic
Robin
gameplay?
Hood.
Yeah, that is true.
Where we need Justin back. Come back. Oh, but Blazin doing one of the best plays you can be doing.
Is it gonna be an aerial,
early
ink, and boost? Because that is my favorite thing to do.
I kind
Yes,
of
it
like
is.
playing surfers myself, but both of them just feel great to play super early. I like to play
Yes.
aerials on turn 2 off of an angel on turn 1, personally.
That I love even more than what we just saw here. But you can't always play the underdog. But I do agree that is my favorite thing to play. And then to strength, to Thunderbolt. The options are open. Oh, and a beautiful set champ Maleficent going in to the Inkwell.
I can't wait to get more underdog cards. I
I do love the
say-
underdogs.
I just want to play a deck where I'm like, I would like to be on the draw.
Yeah, all underdogs actually.
But it's an interesting theory because you actually don't want too many of them. It's weird.
Mm-mm.
Part of it, it's like, no, we can't have too many because then they always have a turn 1 play.
Yeah,
But then they're
yes.
playing 1-drops that cost 2 for the rest of the game. So they
And
have
it's
a
also
bunch of 2-cost
challenging
cards.
because you kind of have to decide with the underdogs if you would be willing to play it on 2 if you're on the play. And some of the underdogs, I'm like, not really. But Angel, I will play many times during.
Oh yeah. As we
Steel
saw,
Sound.
an aerial boost passed over to a Pete boost. These
Yep.
are the boosty wars, you might say, and the angel that just came down pitching away the Nani to take down that pesky Pete. After
Well worth it, I think. And then questing for 2 with the aerial, which I feel totally comfortable doing because what is your Cindy gonna do? And Red definitely has the option to get rid of that another way, so I might as well start getting my lore and have a good hand, even though I discarded and sang a song. Good board presence, good hand from this aerial, just refilling everything. And
What
we are at,
did we do to deal the 3 damage to the?
I believe Ariel.
Did we
sang.
sing a thunderbolt?
That's what I
assume?
thought.
Okay.
That's what I assumed based on the fact that it had 4 damage.
Oh, it was.
And the
4.
Troubadour
My
was-
brain was
yes.
thinking it's 3, and I was like, how did that happen? Because
I saw 4 on the Troubadour. Yeah, you're like, where did this come from? The Troubadour was exerted. We are crushing it on paying attention to this game. And the Maui Shark goes down. Okay. I never know
Yeah.
how I feel about Maui Shark. I love him, but then also sometimes when he gets just taken out immediately, it does feel very bad.
Yeah, and the Lonely Grave there at the top card in the discard, which was underneath that Pete, as you mentioned, means we most likely do have
Wreck-It
that
Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph, which is pretty good against our opponent here, I think.
I would agree. And I really like that Ruby is tenacious. They lost their Be Prepared, but they will find a board wipe. They will find it if you give them enough time and enough cards.
It only took them 5 sets.
It only took them 5 sets. And it only takes like 3 or 4 cards to do. It's okay. And then,
there's the strength.
yep, we're going to do a strength down. And then I'm assuming discard with the angel to finish off that melee shark, which always does feel bad.
I mean, feels pretty good to me. I'm always the Steel Song player, looking at that pesky shark and hearing the music, like Donna, like
Yep,
no, thank you.
I don't own any, so I'm kind of with you. I never bought that card. It was too expensive at the time. And so now whenever it goes right into the discard, I go, I made the right choice. And we see the horseman come out and getting rid of the only thing it can get rid of.
And
But
that
gonna boost
is-
up
Yeah.
the Cindy to trade with the angel, which I would do any day of the week, and means that you know, I think only one card in hand here, now two, is gonna have to play down a character for this snowboard stitch effect.
Whew, another
Another
area.
one. He has to have we gotta have a song, right? Or we're gonna find one, gonna quest, draw now that we have those two. It looks like we don't have a
Off
song.
to the races, but I mean, the
But
headless
we-
can take this aerial down, but that still gets rid of the headless horseman.
And this is such a
Surfer.
tough board because, like, you can take the aerial, but again, it gets rid of your headless. But you still have draw potential with the aerial, can play another character, draw potential with the stitch. I mean, this so much draw potential in the Steel Song deck, which is why it feels really good to play.
Yeah, it's like, where are you, Copper? Where are you at? We need you.
we need you
Goofy.
right now.
Like, I'm sorry
been
we said you
digging.
weren't a good Maui. We still need you.
I'm sorry I ever disrespected you. Please do not be so heavy. Still digging.
Oh.
Oh! Still digging for something.
Well, when you have nothing, you're gonna keep trying to find something.
And that's not what you want to find. That is definitely not the thing that you
I-
want to find in this moment.
I mean, she's at least able to take out the other aerial, but we
That is
still
true.
need something for this
And we-
pesky snowboarder.
Yeah, where are Let It Goes? Where are anything to put this into the inkwell? Where is our Wreck-It Ralph? Where is any of our board clear? Where's our
Nowhere
Pete's?
to be seen.
Where's our big Pete's? And then just another tough character to get rid of, and the way in which I'm hoping he does not have a song for this Moana, because I think if he does, it's going to be really tough.
Oh,
Or Mowgli. Unfortunate.
That's
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that could have been all right. Christian, things are not going in your favor here. When Amber Steel has it, they've got all of it.
They've got it. That is what someone shared with me at Sedgham's. They said when Steel Song has it, they just have it. There's nothing you can do. When they find the songs, when they find the exact right curve out, when they get those sneaky, this character just costs 2 and it's the exact character they need, there's just nothing you can do.
So I'm gonna edit this video just a little bit here so we can see Christian's tattoo on his arm.
I'm ready.
It is when
Oh!
show it again. It is what's on his sleeves.
That is so cool.
That is pretty neat. He's
Do you think he's a Emperor's New Groove fan?
I don't know. He might just be a
Could
White
be.
Breezy fan.
You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. That is sick.
It's
That is a
commitment.
commitment to the bit too. You got your sleeve. Where's the mat?
Where's
And we are asking to see what are the actions in play. I think trying to decide. It looks like he's not going to be able to get this shark maybe necessarily off the board. So looking to see what may be coming his way, or maybe thinking.
we do have the shark combo. with Olympus.
We do.
Like, yeah, Mowgli took it, but it doesn't really stop anything when the shark's there to do it.
True. So I do see an Akud, but I don't. It doesn't seem like he either doesn't have enough to get rid of that shark, or doesn't have a song. So I think he's trying to figure out what can I do to get rid of it. And I was talking smack to Shark, but look, maybe he's gonna bring this back.
Yeah, if you get the shark combo off, it just, I mean, it's pretty devastating. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that's an enchanted next stop Olympus as well in his discard.
And so that means that the combo has to go off, right? Because it's enchanted. Enchanteds always play better. That's the rules.
You can't stop enchanteds.
You can't stop
power
enchanted
at its finest.
Lorcana is a pay-to-play game. And for people that might not know, do you want to explain what the combo is, just in case anyone in chat is not deep in the off-meta decks?
We don't have really a heal effect yet, or possibly a way to prevent it. But Next Stop Olympus basically is an action that you can play for free if you have a character with 5 or more strength, and it readies that character. You cannot quest with it, but you can challenge again. And oh, it looks like we're taking that shark down. No combo today. Double Thunderbolt. Zeus says, not today, son. You're not coming to Olympus today.
Nope, and I think that was paying for the song and then singing the song, and then questing out with the other characters. That is just so unfortunate. I mean, when Steel Song has what it needs, yeah, what are you gonna do? When it has what it has, and what a crazy featured match, because 2-0. Wait, was this game? No, this was game 2, right? So fast, 2-0s, the first game, second game, and third game. After we were talking in the start of ICL, that 2-0s never happened. Happened all day today.
Yeah, and some of them much more quick than others.
Yes, that is true. That is true. That is true. Oh, I do feel for the Lazyboys, because I do think blue Sapphire Ruby is really fun. And it's really interesting. And there's actually a couple different decks floating around. Some have Shark, some have Olaf, some have different actions. And I'm sad to see us not getting to see its full potential, really. Oh, I was like, oh, talking to the voice in my head. But I am happy, again, going to tiebreakers. Good job, Friendly Neighborhood. Get that one. Every single game, every single match, every single game matters. And I do think that we're going to have someone join us for an interview.
We should be here in a second. They're just getting that all set up. I also need to set mine up. I'm going to let you talk about that match for a second. It's all on you.
Yeah, of course. And shout out to poor Wonderland doing both production and casting at the same time. Big thank you for everything you do. I will say ICL is so well run, so organized, so beautiful to watch. So good job. And it is nice to see that Steel Song pop off. But I do still feel for my Sapphire Ruby. Because I do think I love when a spicy deck has some unique cards that we haven't seen before. I mean, when you have two people that have been playing Lorcana forever and we have to look up Brom the Bully or Brom Bone.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to you there, where I was just like talking in your ear that whole time as you're like trying to maintain, because I did not.
I'm doing my best for you.
There quick enough.
You told me to keep talking, and I said Wonderland's the boss. Whatever he says goes, because that's how it goes.
All right. All right, we're gonna hop over to the interview booth here. It's Blazin.
Hello.
Here. How are you doing?
Hello. Oh, I
Oh.
didn't wear a. I should have worn a Slapshark shirt.
Oh, that's not the team you're playing for right now, though.
I know it's true. Yeah, it's true. It's fair.
Yeah,
you
come
you
on.
got drafted or
represent.
traded or how
You got traded?
No, we got disbanded. We disbanded, and
What?
people all over the place. Dale's on SLTC, like whatever.
They're not
Wait, why
officially
did you-
disbanded.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, not
They
officially. It's just for
could
this.
not fully
I was worried
commit
for you.
to being
I was
able to
worried
play
about
each
you.
week.
You mean you don't
Yeah,
have
it's
20
really
players on
hard.
your team?
We literally
that
only had
like?
like 4 players who were playing all the time, and it was like, yeah,
You don't have a baseball team of players on your team?
no, we do not. And like the
should try
7
it.
o'clock, the 7 o'clock like slot is so
Yeah.
hard for all of us with kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Commuting, kids. What are we doing, Wonderland?
Yeah, it's just not fun.
It's not fun. This is a horrible event.
Wow.
No, I love
Blink
this
for
event's
1
great.
second, and we go to how horribly this is ran. Well, thank you. I'm
Sorry.
glad we started
take
doing
that all
live
back.
interviews.
Well, you're talking to 2 Steel Song lovers. So talk to us about your inclusion, how that went for you. Did you have any thoughts when you saw the Sapphire and then the Ruby come out?
Yeah, so I've seen that deck a couple times, like on like Duel Links and stuff like that, and like online. But yeah, I just knew like I had to obviously be the aggressor and start really quickly, and then like my opening hand wasn't great. Like in game 1, I had like 3 Willows, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I like bricked. But then like luckily like I could have got all the 3 Willows out, and then I
Yeah.
was able to just keep going. But yeah, I just like I kind of knew the matchup for the most part, that like I just had to be the aggressor, and then I just took those lines to keep the engine going.
Absolutely. And I'm interested. So people play different cards. So you have the Pluto. I think that's kind of a unique card. And then I know some people play the Chief Bodyguard, some people don't. Do you want to share a little bit about your decisions and some of that like 5 ink slot, what you're playing in your Steel Song?
Yeah, of course. So for I actually took Sky's list and Habibi's list and Diego's and just kind of smashed them together,
Merge them.
and then picked the cards that I liked, because I know like
That is the
so
way.
yeah,
That is
exactly.
the way. That's the correct way
Yeah.
to play the game.
Yeah, so I learned this deck from Habibi Elias. Like we played it together in Ghent, things like that, and he had like
Yeah.
all these things that he was like stubbornly against, because like Sky had said it was like really good, and then I was like, you know what, like Sky might be a little right in like some of these like choices. So then I was like, I'll just take both, and like I get what you're saying, I get what Sky's doing. So you smash it together, and then you get a deck that's functional and still.
I
Like,
love the feuding
good things.
parents, and you're like, actually, why not the best of both worlds, gentlemen?
Exactly.
That's very funny.
Weekend over at Sky's place, and then spending like a couple of days
The
over
week, yeah.
with Elias, and then a few more days
Yeah.
with Diego.
yeah, exactly, and then you get some weird mishmash of both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And it worked for you. I mean, I also will say the Willows are not always the worst, because at least they're a 2 cost, and you were able to just put them down and then play whatever you want, which was kind of nice in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, so
better or
before I had
worse
told
than
Elias,
Sale.
I had told
Yeah, better
Elias
or worse
that-
than Sale?
no, it's worse. Like,
Of course,
it's worse. Yeah, in Ghent, I had told Elias beforehand, I was like, we shouldn't play 4 Willows. Like every time you open multiples, it's just like makes
Yeah.
your hand really terrible.
I have to.
And in round one of Ghent, I opened 4 Willows and I lost
Yeah.
because I had to ink like the Nannies
Yeah,
like to play
Yeah.
them. It was bad. Yeah.
yeah, I cut mine down for that same reason. It's tough
Yeah.
when you open all of them and you're like, I don't actually want
I'm-
any of you.
it's better to be lucky than good, and I just try to get lucky.
It's true. I mean,
I'm gonna
yeah.
play all 4,
I'm gonna play all 4.
but
Wow. I know,
you wanna see
I'm
them?
a degenerate gambler, apparently. I just
Well, I'm glad you play all 4, because then it means it's just as good or just as dangerous as Sale. And so maybe I'm going to have to up it to 4 to really stick my argument that Willow is more toxic than Sale.
No, Sail is the most it's such a ridiculous card. Like actually just
No!
such a ridiculous card. Can't wait till it like rotates. Like I just
How about
I hate
uninkable
playing
Sale?
blue.
How do I feel about uninkable Sale?
You mean what, isn't that like one jump? But like
but you draw a card.
But you
yeah.
draw a card. One jump, but you
Yeah,
draw
but it's not
a
the
card.
top. You don't have
It's
to ink,
filter,
right? You don't have to
right?
ink out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's
So
true. Because you get to
it's-
choose.
It's better and worse, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're already like inkable
One's a
light
song.
in hand, and it's a song. But yeah, I think it's fine if all the ramp is uninkable, but that's just my hot take or mild
That's
cold take.
No, I like the same take. I like the
crazy.
exact same take. Like
That's
if Willow
crazy.
and Lantern have to be uninkable, like the blue ones should be uninkable. Doesn't make any
Now,
sense.
that said, we do have the new Piggy Bank Ham, and he's an inkable 2 cost. That is a form of ramp attached to a 2/3, but not quite as good as Huey, but still, it's kind of a mixture of Pluto and that. So we'll see how that kind of shapes into the Willow sphere.
I'm gonna have to upgrade my PowerPoint slides for my TED Talk on sale and find inkable amber ramp because I'm not prepared with evidence yet to counter you, but I feel like you're wrong. I
Nothing
like
does this-
my inkable blue ramp.
Like Doc, remember old Doc, the one that like quests for 2 and it
Yeah.
ramps. Like it, that's the
yes.
But
best.
he costs 3.
Bring it
He costs
back.
3. He's fair.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
fair.
he's fair.
I-
He's inkable.
he's
Yeah,
fair.
but he quested for 2, which was sweet because it's like later
Yeah.
on in the
Oh,
game.
that-
you're like,
That
you
guy
want
was
2
great.
questers.
He was
Yeah.
wonderful. You know
Well-
who I really miss? No one played it, but that song that you could reduce cost by it's 0 to hero. However many
Oh.
characters
Zero to
you had on
Hero
board.
was I do not no. It either did nothing or degeneracy.
Yeah,
Cindy
100%.
singing
My favorite
0 to
card.
Hero to
Cindy?
play.
Imagine!
Surfer. I don't have to
Imagine!
imagine. I lost to it.
Or like big Cindy's and like your oh my gosh, yeah, it's just it got rough.
So bring
a
it
You need
back.
like the crazy boards.
Ravensburg?
Shout out,
Okay.
dude.
I mean, Infinity, right?
Loved that back. in the day.
Infinity! Yeah. Maybe that is what
Um,
I'll play for Infinity.
But we
Thank
do
you
have
for
another
that.
match we're gonna jump to here in a second. Is there any more shout outs you'd like to
Shout-outs!
give or anything else you'd like to say?
Just shout out to obviously Team Slab Sharks is like the team that I'm like actually on in real life. And then obviously like Elias and Diego and stuff like that who like help me like play like Steel Song or Steel Song for the most part. And also shout out to the team, the people who are local to Toronto. That's why I'm on this team. I'm with it's the people that I get to hang out with on a week-to-week basis at locals, and they're great people. And I think we have a really, really strong community and a community that likes each other. So that's why I have actually no issue playing for them.
The Canadians are
that.
dominating the ICL.
And you guys are locked in top 8, right?
I think
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one more weekend.
There's only one
They
more
were in second place.
Oh yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you're
So I'm
locked in. It's just for
assuming-
seeding.
We're looking at 3rd or 4th place, and a win next week might lock that. Who knows? Maybe even jump you into 2nd place, depending on how the other teams are doing. And thank you very much for that. And with that, we're going to jump over and actually see how ETB is doing in match number 3. Thank you,
Have a good
Blaze, and
night.
we'll chat with you later.
Bye.
All right. So we're in match number 3, and we have a Yerple versus Emerald Sapphire. Do love a good Emerald Sapphire. And we see, I feel like I missed what just happened, but somehow. Oh, Greatest Criminal Mind, the Clarabelle. And then gonna start questing out. It looks like we're at 6-0. But we are going over here potentially to a board clear if the combo is in place. Not sure how many cards in hand for Sam, but could be unfortunate.
And this is game number 3.
We love going to game 3. Have not seen a lot of game 3s today.
And Ink took the first match.
Okay.
And ETB took the 3rd. So this is
The second?
for everything.
This is for everything. All the marbles. And what where are they at in the standings? Do we know?
ETB is 1st, and I think Ink is 4th or 5th.
Okay. Nice. And then we do see inked wow. Joseph had everything he needed. He inked the he played both actually. He played Wait, what happened?
This is gonna be an epic game. I do believe we sang Under the Sea with
But he also got inked a mean and scary potentially.
so I think
a
he
mean
inked
and-
him the mean, malicious, and scary, and then sang Under the Sea.
Saying Under the Sea. Okay. He did have everything he wanted or needed though, and then immediately responded with the Horseman Strikes, which
Yep.
I hate to see it.
And Sam having
You hate
Horseman
to see it.
Strike as well as we noticed in the discard, the world's greatest criminal mind. So
Yep, got rid of the Clarabelle, got rid of
multiple
the
answers.
Philip. Yep, and then we are going to ink another Philip. We had every combo piece he needed. And then Clarabelle, 1 card in hand, and I'm not sure how many Sam has. 2. So we're going to get a draw off the Clarabelle, which is great.
Yeah, the Clarabelle only drawing 1 or 2 cards is not what Quigley needs to see here, but at the same time, it means that Sam can't really develop too many threats in a turn because Sam doesn't have very many cards to throw down into play, and a single Dumbo not doing anything, this could easily have your welcome saying on it, fill Sam's hand up a little bit, but then give Quigley enough cards to draw more and do something else. This could also just be a Basil to do the
go
same
back into
thing.
hand.
And we get 2 fresh cards, I think, here.
And then gonna do exactly what Clarabelle asked you to do, which is we're gonna ink and play a 1-drop Clarabelle, but draw 2 better cards, which is just filtering through our hand, which I don't hate. And we are going up to the 8. So does he have he does.
Oof.
The Raging Storm.
He has everything, I think you're saying here, is the world's greatest criminal mind, followed by a Headless, followed by a Raging Storm. Sam, he's trying to get Ink locked into the top 8, and this very well could do it, not requiring a full sweep next week, even though they still might need it, as Ink is in 5th place with a 5-4 record. If they beat ETB here, that might actually knock them. That wouldn't, because the Lazyboys would be up to 7-4, and Friendly Neighborhood would be at 7-2-1, and the ETB would be at 8-2. So ETB would still be locked in 1st place here.
Wow.
But 2 through 4th could shuffle up a bit, and
but we
Ink
still have one
is
more
still kind of
week.
locked.
So I feel like ETB still wants to win this. Still wants to keep that 1st seed.
So
and the library. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say there's still more to pay attention to, is because while you are a 1st seed in this division, your tiebreakers will matter when the 2 divisions mix together for overall play draw percentages. And there could be a world where 1st place in one division loses the play draw to 2nd place in the other division. I do believe that happened a season or 2 ago.
Interesting.
But right now, both divisions, the leader's kind of on the top, but World Class Cards here is in 1st place in Group A, Division A, at 7-2. ETB is already at 8-1, so they're like trying to gain that place that they are on the play no matter who they play.
Yep. So if they can win this week, I think that'll put them secured for on the play.
I think that will lock them overall.
Lock them in
season
first,
ranked 1st.
Which what a thing to say. That's incredible. So
for 3 seasons in a row.
For 3 seasons in a row.
They've won the first 2 seasons. 2-time champions.
I'm not up on my ICL lore.
There's a reason we say Canada has been dominating the ICL.
Dominating, absolutely dominating. And with all of that in mind, who are you rooting for? Who are you putting your eggs in the bucket for?
I'm not allowed to ever root for ETB because I have the caster's curse, and whenever I root against ETB, they win.
Okay. Do you want me to try rooting against them?
I mean, you can root for them. I'm not allowed to say they'll win, so I'm obviously rooting for Ink, and it's double folded because I really like the people at Ink, so I get to actually root for both of them at the same time by saying when I don't root for them, I'm rooting for them. But does that swap it over? Does that secretly make them rooting for them, and will this be the time they lose because I said that? We shall see.
We shall find out. I think you're rebooting. I think the logic is going too quickly. It's breaking down. Okay, so I will root against ETB, not in your honor, but it is just because. Though it does look tough here right now. We have the library taken care of. We have the John Silver, I'm assuming, I think took out the library, but then got rid of the Dumbo with the Clarabelle on board. I need another Raging Storm.
Yeah.
And I
off
need
the
to
top.
pray that Quigley doesn't ink an ink geyser me.
It needs it has to be an enchanted as well.
It
Because
does.
this says pay for
Pay to play.
power. Enchanted's to the top of the deck. Joseph Quigley picking his fate. Does he win or lose from the flip floppity?
All right. We believe. We believe. And I think those
Oh,
are
you're welcome.
maybe the only maybe the only 2 cards he has in hand. And then he is going to draw. Did not have the ink geyser to make sure that
We have 4 chances here. We don't have it yet.
we can do Dumbo effect to draw. Going to
Break
9.
some records, making records, breaking records. Jumbo
And
Jr.,
I
what are you
see 8.
doing? And we
And
hit
have
it.
We hit it. As we should. As we're rooting
Yep.
for. Good job, Sam.
Obviously, he was breaking the record for most type behind a Raging Storm. But Quigley did get to draw from however many cards he was up to 2. So he's going to have 3 cards now to do something. But we're just Donald in passing tells me that Joseph kind of probably has removal in his hand.
Yep.
And
maybe combos. Maybe removal.
This game
maybe
is
songs
far
that don't
from
make
over.
sense. And Sam does have a really good lead. Is able to play down the elephant. And then a willow and potentially put down that royal guard again. 1 card in hand. And going to be able to refill the hand off the Donald. He's debating, I think.
I agree with Sam there. I think it's correct to draw that card there.
Yep. I know it's tough.
Make him have another Clarabelle.
Yep. And I think 2 are already gone. Yep, you've answered 2 at least.
But Joseph here, I think I've only seen 1 Prince Philip so far and 1 Mean Malicious, so he could easily sing that here, wipe away what Sam has, and put him only
into the
cards.
inkwell.
2
1
then.
did go into the inkwell.
Under
but
the sea
also
would be
under
not
the sea.
fantastic, but okay.
Yeah, we would take it. Elephant could start doing some work.
I would do it.
I
wouldn't want to. I would much rather have a John Silver or a Basil, many things I would much rather
Many other
have.
things. I really want an ink geyser.
You know what I haven't seen yet? What I haven't seen from Quigley is a detective. Outside of Perfect Gentleman, which I don't think he's a detective.
No, he's a perfect gentleman.
We did see the Basil, so I guess I should say I haven't seen any Sapphire detectives yet.
So I am wondering which version of this, and we do have another Clarabelle. Oh!
Moose in chat.
It's so funny to see current Sapphire Emerald versus previous Sapphire Emerald, because it was much harder to get where you needed to go. But now I feel like, and then you all having the You're Welcome to put those cards back and just refill the hand.
As apparently that's the 4th Clarabelle we've seen so far this game.
And 2nd or 3rd You're Welcome, and then another Malicious, Mean, and Scary in to the Inkwell.
I mean, these are fantastic games. It's what we like to see, both players throwing haymaker plays back and forth, showing off how both of them can kind of answer everything. We just need another Criminal Mind, but we probably don't play too many of them. Probably 2 max.
Probably 2, yeah. And then are going to draw 3 cards back up to fill my hand, which if I am Joseph, I'm feeling great about that. Even if you potentially find another Raging Storm, I have enough to refill the board again.
Yeah, we have too many cards in hand, I think, to be able to use a Demona to answer this Clarabelle. We kind of needed no cards to draw maximum and then play more card draw. But maybe there's a world that we can ink, play a couple free things.
And I don't hate the
Mobley. Hitting a You're Welcome or Mean Malicious. And
And I'm
Basil.
assuming, and a Basil and a Tipo. We do like to see that Tipo in hand. I think this is going to be his third malicious mutant. Maybe that is his last malicious mutant scary. But can continue to put pressure with the Clarabelle on board and the You're Welcome. So I think he's thinking through what he wants to do here.
Yeah, and Quigley does get to choose which of the two to discard, but as we have that Clarabelle, yeah, we're definitely keeping that You're Welcome here. But I think that might run us out or give us only one malicious left.
Yeah.
We've seen 2 inked in that, so I think there might be one more left.
Yes. And now we don't have the combo piece, so I definitely understand. You have other ways. This is a very control-heavy deck. You have other ways of controlling the board. But it does mean that in the future, might not be able to clear a larger board state.
And since it looks like we're not on detectives, Joseph could be on Ink Geyser.
Ooh.
So there could be a world that he does get an Inked Philip and Inked Mean Malicious back to his hand. And that could be one reason why he was fine with inking it early on. And we've seen 5 on this Octopi here, the Royal Guard. Probably going to team up with the tree, a little willow action, and take down this Clarabelle if only we had
I definitely would. If only we had, one more ink to draw one more, put them on the library, and if only we had been able to get rid of that last card, so that we could have drawn that extra card and made it a clean trade. But I still think it's worth it to get rid of this Clarabelle. You've gotten rid of the third one. And you know that all they have, I mean, you have to take it. They have a Basil and they have a You're Welcome. You have to trade. I mean, there's no option.
I've heard rumors it's the 4th Clarabelle, but that
could be
okay,
wrong. It might be.
And if it's the 4th one, I mean, we did see a shifted one, but I doubt that's what they're assuming of. The 1 cost.
Oh, the 1
clumsy
cost,
on
yes.
her hooves. Dropping
and
and
he
spilling
is take
apples
it out.
everywhere.
Oh!
Did we need both of them for that? Oh, we had 1 card in hand when we played Demona, so we didn't get the maximum amount, and that is why the Clarabelle doesn't get answered. Basic math is too difficult for me.
Me
but-
too. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Because you know that just going to absolutely refill his hand by playing Basil and the You're Welcome on probably the Demona. Maybe the library.
This is really a roughish matchup for both sides, as Joseph could run away with certain aspects. And think about if it happened the turn before a Raging Storm, could have played an Ink Geyser to send all of the ink away. Sam might be able to gain some more lore. The Clarabelle doesn't really want to exert itself in front of this Demona. And once all 4 Clarabelles are gone, the massive draw power from Quigley's deck diminishes. And
significantly.
Then it just becomes a question, does Sam have his targeted removal while also playing his cards that draw cards for tempo? Like if he can go Genie into Horseman Strike to take out a Prince Philip that doesn't even get a combo, but maybe just comes in to threaten characters.
To get threatened, yep. Now I do think this Basil is going to come down and get rid of the Demona to let this Clarabelle quest potentially and keep putting on that lore pressure. I don't know why you would send back the Mowgli with so many cards in hand for Sam, but maybe Joseph knows something I don't know. And we are going to send, Demona
Joseph
back.
Needs to draw more cards here. He needs to get lore on the board. He doesn't need to draw cards, but he's going to want to, as that's a big grip of cards there. As he ended the turn with 3 after the Demona, I do believe, or 2 after the Demona, followed by You're Welcome and a Basil, putting us up to 5 cards.
And then we have 2 Royal Guards, which we know we have the Demona in hand, so that makes a lot of sense to get those down to start potentially dumping our hand as much as possible. Get the Willow, just put everything but the Demona down on the board, and then hope that we can.
Hope you didn't draw Under the Sea in that
I
group of cards.
I know. I mean, but what else are you gonna do? I mean, how?
And you
if you
can't
don't have the
even-
Raging Storm.
You can't even empty your whole hand because then the Basil has it. You're already at a 33% chance
Yep.
to lose that Demona. I don't
Yeah.
even know if we boost for fun because, like, yes, it's an extra
Mm-mm.
card in hand, but that Clarabelle needs to be answered first, and we're going down.
We're going
to
deep.
just the one, so that's just the Demona.
I think, is it just one? It is just one he inked. Oh no.
But this does mean that the Basil will be questing, and
Yep.
so we're just betting that they don't have an Under the Sea. He's like, Joseph, you don't have Mean Malicious. You don't
Yep.
have Under the Sea. I'm just going to turn everything sideways twice.
And pray.
And I'm going to win the game. Like, sometimes you just have to throw that Hail Mary, and that's kind of seems like what we're doing here.
And then we do play.
Oh, we
okay,
are
so this
getting
is
rid of it.
Yep. So ink discard. I'm assuming.
Which I don't know if we need to do. This makes me feel like he's not planning on questing with the Basil then, if we're paying one to make him discard.
Yep. Which is interesting. This is kind of a previous set card. So this other Basil, when you ink, you get to pay one, I believe, to have them discard a card. So it was kind of you could play the 1-drop Basil and then play this ink,
Shift
and
it.
then
Under
Yep.
the Sea on it. Oof.
Yep. Yes. This was some old tech before the mean, malicious, and scary that he's kind of bringing back. But maybe 1 of 2 of it could still be good. I mean, it is really nice once your Clarabelle is gone to start discarding them. So I definitely see the incentive. And the Enchanted, I actually like.
I also like its synergy with Cinderella to be able to put it into play ready and then pay 1 and make him discard. I do believe that she puts it into play readied. They're like, what are you going to do with that ink at the end of your turn? Nothing.
Yep.
Oh, I might pay 1 and make you discard a card.
Yep. Which is something that Lorcana does not see a lot of. Kind of after turn effects. But you are right. That is an interesting interaction. And then I think here, I think you just have to start questing. Maybe thinking about what he wants to do, if he wants to boost anything. But I don't know that he could, to be honest.
So this is an interesting spot where we just go all out.
I would think I'm turning everything sideways and going to 16. Yeah.
This is still terrifying. And
I'm
it's
nervous.
No cards in hand. Joseph is readying very quickly. The body language to me is
Of some board clear.
I wouldn't like if I was sitting in Sam's position, I would not be happy here. But everyone handles nerves differently. Sometimes they get more excited. He's going in for challenging.
He is challenging. He's challenging stuff,
But
which is not what you would expect when you have.
He's challenging things that don't get hit by Under the Sea.
That is true. You are making a great point, and this is why you are the master caster. You are making a great
But
point.
we don't have it. We're still challenging here.
We are still challenging. Taking out.
We still only get to 18 though.
We still need, yeah. And
This
then
is
we're gonna
still a
play,
rough spot.
and so much ink. But now you're in a spot where, I don't know if he.
We needed Lilo escape artists.
Yeah. That would have been.
I think if we had those though, we might have been boosting the Cheshire Cat for fun.
Yes. And then we see the Donald going down, which is tough. You want to draw cards, but also they're drawing cards. Another Cindy, so you can filter more and have 10,000 ink.
We might be in turns right now, or turn 0.
We
but
are in turns.
Quigsley
are in
has
turns.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lore in play
10
in
lore
2
in play.
turns. If given 2 more turns, he could still win. So even if time just started on his turn, I
He
think we're
can
gonna see
get
a
there.
winner in this game.
Unless
He might have to keep
there
challenging though.
depends. I mean, we wanted Demona. We wanted Demona so badly.
Oh, this is a
Or
card.
book.
It does things.
Oh, and they're counting turns right now. They're putting on their turns. So, yep. And now,
What do we draw? I
do
mean,
we
a quest
get-
for 2 to 18 followed by
Raging
a raging storm would be hilarious.
would
But
be
we have
great.
okay.
Oh, I don't want a library necessarily.
Well, I mean, it's not bad here. I think
And draw. He's trying to draw one.
is
By taking out the
do I need to
Clairbow?
tell them that they spent 1 too much ink on the Sven? I can't like it's not a May on the Willow, correct?
I don't believe it is. That is a you question. That's above my pay grade. But I think you are correct. Yeah, because that's the first thing they played. They played 3 and then 4, and then 1 to move. So they could move potentially one other character, which may matter. I can look up the Willow. This is a nail biter of a game, I will say.
Oh,
Going into
and-
turns.
And the ads happened like
No.
as I was
I'm
like chatting to try to
I am looking up the Willow right now. I don't remember if it's a May. Willow
this
is
is intense.
you pay 1 less for the next character you play. It does not say May. Once during your turn, you pay 1 less for the next character you play this turn. So here, I mean, the Sven could take out. I think my guess is maybe thinking between the Basil. I mean, the things that make you discard your hand versus this Clarabelle potentially.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the best thing for chat because he
I
started
don't
that
know that I would have
play
done that.
at the beginning of the ad break, and the ad break is finishing in 10 more seconds. So Sam here is a man of the people. We're in turns. He's taking his time doing it so no action gets missed.
So why? I'm curious why he didn't take the Sven into the Basil that had no damage on it, and then use only 1 to take the Basil that had damage on it. An interesting choice. And I think they are now debating ink and if he is able to move Rafiki to the library to get that extra draw or not, and remove this Basil so that his hand does not get discarded.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. It's like, do I want to draw an extra card? What do I want to challenge with? So we're drawing 1 card here, taking out some characters, trying to make it so it looks like Sam's going for the draw, or
How
possibly...
did that all happen? How did that all happen? How did that happen? Am I confused? He had a Sven take out something, and then a Willow take out something, and then a Rafiki take out the Cinderella? Maybe
Well,
they switched
don't
to the
think
Sven.
Yeah, I don't think the Cinderella was taken out by...
Yeah, he took a Cindy off the board.
The Rafiki. I think the Willow took out the Cindy, and then the Rafiki took out the Basil that had damage on it.
Oh,
It has
okay.
4, so it had at least 1 damage on it from challenging last turn. And then the Sven took out
They were-
the other Basil. So both
Okay.
Basils and a Cindy banished to the discard
Banished.
here to
And that does make
slow us
sense to
down.
take out those Basils, because then he has 2 cards in hand. Had they stayed on the board, he would have lost both his cards potentially with an ink and then a quest. And now we see a Prince Philip go down, a Tipo go down, and a Basil go down. Not maybe necessarily what you want to see, but you may have to challenge into this library, but you're gonna have to send 3 things.
It
or
really
questing?
depends on if we're going for the win or not to lose here. We've got 7, 8, 9 lore in play. If we challenge, we don't gain any, assuming that this is Joseph being turn 1, but I think it's Joseph being turn 2, so he might
We are
only
gonna
have
quest.
1 more
Yeah.
turn after this. So he's gonna go for the win.
And we need the Raging Storm.
Yeah, a Raging Storm or... Oh! The Ink Geyser says no, no, no! No, sir, you're not storming me. You're not storming me.
No. Okay, it's time to pack it up. If I'm Sam, I'm packing it up. I think he's like, what do you do? I mean, that is why Ink Geyser is so
actually,
good.
the game is not over. If this is turn 2, Sam is turn 3, Joseph has to win his next turn. So one of 2 things can happen, and Joseph can't shift Prince Philip because of this. So if Sam has a Sven, he can ink, play Sven, challenge down the Donald Duck, and then Joseph only has 7 lore in play.
1, 2,
Unless
3,
he shifts
4,
a Basil, and if he has
7.
Basil shift following a Sven, then Joseph can win.
What do you?
But that's
what do
that's
you?
that's how it gets
Okay.
down to.
Okay. I see you're doing your Lorcana puzzles every morning.
My puzzles?
Yeah, you know Lorcana puzzles?
No.
They like post. You don't know what a Lorcana? They post like a game state, and then it's like, how do you win this, or how do you not lose this?
Sometimes I don't care for those because it's always like the gotcha, like you didn't think about this weird thing, and it's just like I would just like an in-depth, like 3-layer play that like you kind of just need to know deck lists.
Yeah,
I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I do try to play to my outs. That is one of my strong points. Is it's trauma induced, literally. If anyone who has any concept of that, that's wait, that's enough right there. That does it. Right?
Nice. Yes.
He has to have the shift Basil.
Yep. He goes,
unless lore counts are different than my brain sees 7. He has the shift.
Has the shift.
He has the shift.
No!
Says no, no, no.
Oh!
I'm doing it no matter what. Quigley taking it,
What
maintaining
a match.
Oof.
And we were talking about what is that, Basil with some old tech, bringing in the new tech, and look at, he shifted for the win. Shifting for the win. Incredible.
That was
wow.
intense.
That was a great game to end on. That was incredible game to end on.
So we do not normally interview the background matches, but since we do not have another round, I'm gonna send him a message and see if he can jump in.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
We may or may not be able to. It depends on if they're using the store setup or not.
Well, that was very fun. Would love to ask him about his inclusion of that Basil, so definitely hope he can jump in. What a great match to end on with the Ink Geyser, the Shift Basil, finding the one way to remove to just get under to 19 lore. Wow. Lorcana is riveting.
Yeah, that was
a great game.
An intense game.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the curse... It is a real curse.
Because
I went so deep every time I was thinking, who am I actually rooting for? The game shifted in favors back and forth.
You're right.
We got to see Sam have the answer to be like, all right, I'm going to force you to have it again. Like, did you have the Ink Geyser? Did you have the shift? Did you have everything you needed? But we might have seen that. No, he played one right after that, so he had to have drawn another Basil shift there.
Yep. Yeah. Wow, I let you down with rooting against ETB, because I do feel like at the end there, my heart was really impressed with that ink geyser, and I kind of felt myself sway to my Sapphire Emerald home turf. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Are we only going to have audio for you? I think
sure. Wonderland is working on getting Joseph in here for an interview. So hopefully they are able to do that. I think we're figuring out if he's going to be able to show his camera or not. But what a fun way to end. That's always why we show these backup matches, because they are very, very fun. And every single match matters for the final standings.
Give me 1 second.
We have another tech adventure happening. I can't see chat either, so I'm truly talking to myself. Just me, myself, and I. But a lovely game, a lovely set of games, a lovely Wednesday night, as always. You see some of the best things in the ICL. Next week, we still have one more set of core. And then I think it's going to be new set and all infinity ramping up for Indy, which is going to be very exciting to see some of the new plays that are coming out with the top teams. So I'm very excited about that. No idea what people are going to be playing with these new cards that are coming in.
We made it through the night using video, and now in the last interview it's having some issues, but he is trying to get in here.
Okay. It worked really smoothly. I was really impressed.
Disconnect him, and then hopefully he can reconnect, but what is...
It's late night, extra interview, trying to do an extra special, and of course the system says, we promised you 3 interviews, and you are asking for a 4th. And I don't know if that's going to happen for you.
This might work. We're going to try another link here. We do want to get Joseph in here.
Definitely. After that game, coming off the adrenaline too. So it is tough trying to figure out how to get into our setup while shaking off the anxiety of figuring out how to get out of that time to time rounds, which is very classic for our control. Two control decks going head to head. Blue's gonna send you to time every time, and we hate them for it.
All right. We're gonna, only because it's the last one, we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna jump into Discord. If Nada, you want to
join over there
into the room we're in, and Joseph can share his camera, and I'll try to grab that.
You need me to mute anything?
Nope. I've got it.
All right. Wonderland. Wonderful at Lorcana. Wonderful at production. Wonderful at
I can't
being
hear
flexible.
Joseph, though.
I cannot either.
You might need to close your video
I saw his mic.
cameras. Yeah, I saw it flicker. It flickered. It wants to toy with us. Technology is fantastic.
2026, we still don't know how to do multi-people conferencing.
Things just sometimes do not work.
Yeah, it is true. And unfortunately, Discord has had ghosts in it recently. I don't know what's happening with Discord, but it has not been a pleasant app lately. He is deafened and muted.
I think he's just trying to get things fixed without having us yell in his ear.
Yep.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we're almost there. We're almost
we made
there.
it happen.
turn you down because I had you at 200%.
Yeah, you
I changed my microphone to my camera, my phone mic. To make this
Oh.
one. Sorry about that.
No,
Technology.
you're making it work.
All right, so are we only doing voice, or is your camera gonna work?
My camera's good to go. I can share my screen or start my camera.
All right.
There we go.
Let me
Hello.
pop this out.
Hello. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
That's all right. He's setting you up on the screen right now. Give him just 1 second.
I don't know if you get to see what you're seeing.
I don't see you at the moment, but that may not be that
Okay.
important.
Let me.
Well, while he's doing this, how you feeling off that game? That was incredible to watch. We were having a great time.
I always feel great whenever I win in the ICL. Yeah, I feel fantastic. That went a lot. That was a really weird game. Like in game 2, I'm just like, I played that so well. I made such a good line. And in game 3, I'm just like, did I do something wrong at some point? That took so long. I don't know. Like, I don't remember half of what happened, or if I where I might have
I
missed something.
mean,
Like,
both of
gosh,
you,
that was so insane.
both of you just seem to have the answers back.
Yeah, over
like,
and
Yeah,
over
over
and
and
over.
again.
We were counting your actions. Like, do they have another one? Is another one coming? We've seen ink them. They've been spent, but I think you saw all your welcomes. So many.
All my your welcomes, all my Clarabelles.
Yeah, all the Clarabelles, which we
I
love.
actually
to see.
inked 2 Phillips, played one that got killed, and the other one was in the bottom of the deck somewhere. It was like, oh my god.
It was great, and we were. I mean, it ended up winning you that game, but the inclusion of that Basil that has you when you ink, you can pay for them to discard. Do you want to talk a little bit about why you included that? I mean, it really showed up in the last game 3, which is the only one that we watched, just so you know.
Yeah, so that was an option because we thought they were going to play dogs and green purple tempo with Webby, both of which the Battle Shift line is very good into and gives green blue a lot more presence into. If I knew I was up against yellow purple today, I probably wouldn't have played it. But the thing about Basil is, even though he's not common in green blue right now, he's still always been a very solid card, and he can do some surprising things in late game scenarios, even against these slower control decks, just because discard pressure can be so strong into them. So even though I didn't find the ideal matchup for Basil Shift, he can still do just fine into these slower decks as well. And I still love him. I have a fondness for him, even if I don't always play it.
He's a great
Where
guy.
were your Judies? I was like,
now don't bring
I
up
miss her.
Brain Detective.
Don't. It hurts my heart not being able to play her
It's
as
not-
much. I mean,
It's not a
Basil
good
plays well
idea.
with Cindy too.
That's
You can do a double
that's what we talked
discard,
about.
but-
Wonderland brought that up, actually.
oh, of
so.
course I did. I've got to tease quickly every chance I get. But I
I want to play Beauty
understand.
again someday. They need me. Give me more detectives. Dang it.
Right,
Don't bring
right.
it. We don't need it. It's okay.
Like
We don't
I
need
wanted to
that.
play Rockstar till the day I died, and then they printed the Queen and Flute, so I had to change my ways. So like
Yeah.
sometimes
I
it's
feel you
rough.
there, man. I love Rockstar too.
Infinity Wonderland.
Yeah,
Maybe.
unlikely, but maybe.
I'll
we
text.
did see
I'll
some
text
more
you
princes.
the spice.
Okay, all right.
I'll text you the spice.
I'll wait for that.
Yeah,
we shall
I'll send
see,
it your
but
way.
that game was amazing. We jumped in about turn 4 or 5,
Yeah.
I think, around there, and then like I think you had already had a Clarabelle got because we came in, we
Yes.
saw the world's greatest, and then we saw the headless or the horseman
And then
strike,
the raging.
then the raging, and then it was just
Action,
like,
action,
oh
action.
my goodness,
It was when. So he actually inked 2 Criminal Mind before the third
Oh!
one came
Oh,
down
no.
with the Clarabelle, and I was like, maybe he's making a mistake here. Maybe he just can't play another one, and this Clarabelle will get to live.
And he
if
had.
I'm-
I would not expect
And
3
yeah.
or 4 greatest criminal, to be honest.
I was
but
just
it-
like, damn.
you're like, I got it, I've got it. What's
got
he gonna
it,
do?
it's
What's he
fine.
gonna do?
Oh, no.
It's fine.
I mean, it baited me to playing it, but it was still a good enough play with the draw 3.
Hey, but you
and then
saw
I just
all
needed
your
to
big
find.
Clarabelles.
Yeah, I needed to keep finding them. Luckily, they just kept coming and gave me enough draw to power through all of his powerful removal. But it was tough, very tough.
Down to the wire too. I mean, down to having the Basil shift in hand. Also, the Ink Geyser at the end, so he couldn't Raging Storm, which was incredible. Love to do that to the Yerples. It always feels so
Yeah.
good.
I had to math it out with the geyser at the end, where it's like, okay, he's going to find Criminal Mind probably and take out my Clarabelle. And I knew I'd get only one lore short, but I'm just like, okay, if I find a 1-drop Clarabelle or a Basil Shift in my Inkwell, I'm fine. I'm pretty sure I had a 1-drop Clarabelle. I don't remember that I had a Basil Shift, so I was just like, I hope it's there somewhere.
Please.
Sometimes it is that way with Geyser.
Yep,
Yeah, we
yep.
were discussing the plays, and since we didn't see the world's greatest, I was like, a Sven could actually come into
Yep.
play and answer something. There is outs, and then that requires Joseph. He can't shift the Prince Philip, but if he has a Basil, and you
Basil shift for
did the line,
game.
you did
Let's
the line that
go.
got you there, and that was your last turn of turns, correct?
Yep, it was. It was the last one. That was my only shot. I had inked a big Basil earlier with Cindy actually, which I kind of regretted in that late game because it didn't draw me much good. But I felt I had to dig for hopefully more removal because I was worried about him potentially winning
Yeah.
if he found a 2-quester at the end there. I dodged a bullet that it was library. Honestly, if that had been another body or another quester, I honestly didn't have an answer. So it was a bit of luck there at the end too, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you once again showed a masterclass of how to play the deck and how you made a lot of people in chat upset because they're like, "Oh my goodness, like, come on again, he's got it again."
Every time,
Um,
every time. And honestly, shout out that Basil. Got you that win at the end. And also there was a turn when he really had to think about what to do to take stuff out because you were gonna discard both of his cards. Which
Yeah. That's a
And
nice
yeah.
thing where it
Annoying.
forces him to play to board. He couldn't keep cards
Yeah.
in hand, and that was definitely very useful in the late game.
And I don't know if you knew you were playing for it or not, but we were discussing that if you win this round, you are locked for
Locked
first place
in.
overall between both divisions. First seed
Let's
guaranteed to be
go.
on the play game 1 for every match of the top 16. That
and I don't
has
know
to
if
feel
you
good.
know that we were rooting for your downfall.
He knows.
You know
he
what?
knows.
He knows
ETB
you,
has
I'm new.
been
They've turned into the
ETB
villain.
has
Like
been-
you can't win that much. You cannot
Yeah,
win
it's not
everything.
fair.
we,
think we
we
gotta break
felt
you
like the
up.
scrappy underdog for like
What?
2 seasons, honestly. At like, because like we're just a small team from Canada. We don't have any huge names.
Okay.
They are the smallest team.
But
Are they?
now, 3 seasons in, another season at the top of the leaderboard, I understand our place, that we have that level of respect, that we are the villains, but I can always embrace villainy.
You are very nice for a villain, though. It's really hard to root against you.
The nicest
I
guy playing the
appreciate it.
meanest decks.
The
That's
Very
meanest
renowned
decks.
for that.
Wow.
But
That's the ICL for you.
is
in
there
a
any
nutshell.
shout outs you want to give before we wrap up the show and raid another channel here?
Shout outs to my incredible teammates who have carried extremely well this season and lifted me up when I've got a couple losses. Shout out to team sponsors, Twin Moon Studios and Endgame Sleeves. And shout outs to all the incredible people at the ICL that make this all possible. Thank you all so much.
Oh, thank you for playing in it and giving us such a great show that all the viewers here, the viewers and the players come together and we sit here and just watch good Lorcana and have a good time. So it's not that hard. I swear. Or actually, it's super hard. It's very hard. Yes.
Give
But,
Wonderland more donations. It's so hard. It's mental.
Absolutely. Everybody sub right now.
Sub
Basil
right
commands you.
now.
Basil.
Let's go.
Basil commands you. All right, but you have a great night, Joseph. And thanks again. We'll talk to you later.
Thank y'all. Take care, everybody.
And is there any shout outs you want to give? Not a clue. We'll use your full
Yeah,
government
thank you.
username.
Government username. Well, I want to say thank you so much for letting me cast. I know Rascal bullied you into it, but I love doing this as much as I love playing, so appreciate it. Most of all, just shout out Lords of Lore. That is my team. Follow us on socials. We always remind people to watch the ICL, and I run our socials. So if you follow Lords of Lore, you're basically following me.
Nice.
Yeah.
And well, thanks for watching, everyone. I mean, this is the channel I do. I also have an Instagram that I don't use enough. There's a Discord.
I tag you a lot.
Yeah. And sometimes I check it in time to actually see what the tag is. But Instagram's
You never
weird like
repost.
that. I don't know how to necessarily do that. It tries to make me add
Don't worry
more
about it.
stuff. Eventually, I will. I'm a boomer. What can I say?
Yeah.
And I
Call
do
me
need
if
to
you
add
need
stuff
help.
to my store as well. Yes. But we're gonna raid Courtney at
Yes!
Enchanted Chatter
Shout
as we
out
were watching
Courtney!
earlier. Oh,
She's wonderful.
and we raided. I thought I had to press the button twice. So YouTube's
good.
still here. So thanks for watching YouTube. This is your own extra finish part. Only YouTube gets to watch this. Most
Yo,
likely.
YouTube's
There
the
might be some
best.
Twitch. I don't know. The people who denied the raid, I guess.
Denied the raid, actively denied. No, go see Courtney. If you're here on Twitch, go see Courtney. She's wonderful. She was so helpful. Shout out Courtney.
All right, but we're going to say bye to YouTube now. You have a great night, and thanks for watching on YouTube. Let's get to that 1,000 subs on there. I mean, I'll take subs on Twitch too, but who knows? Who knows?
Like,
Have a great night,
subscribe,
everyone.
follow.